Please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Please welcome Corporate Vice President, Growth and Ecosystem, Microsoft, Charlotte Yarkoni.
Good morning. Thank you and welcome to Seattle and opening day of Build 2018. I'm Charlotte Yarkoni, and I will tell you we're supposed to have a few good days of pleasant weather here in Seattle, yet I have the awesome job of trying to convince everybody in this room that you need to sit the next 3 days in dark, windowless spaces listening all about our products. So with that in mind, let's get going. So I am responsible for Microsoft's relationship with developers. I am an engineer, just like you, and in my role, it's my job to advocate for you. My teams and I advocate for you and your businesses across our product and engineering teams every day. We're listening, and we want to hear from you. A year ago, I was sitting where you are. It was my first Build conference. I had been with Microsoft a little less than 8 months, and I learned about an ingenious device called Project Emma that helped people cope with Parkinson's disease. A young woman stood on this very stage and for the first time in years was able to write her name thanks to the hard work of some particularly creative developers. I was deeply moved, and I can tell you that's why I love my job. And standing in front of you today, I can tell you I'm so excited about this year's Build. We have built a program that creates a clear vision for where we are and where we're going, both as an industry and as a company. And we've worked to ensure that connection between the vision and the technical roadmap for getting it done is also well defined. This morning, our CEO, Satya Nadella, is going to share our vision for a world of computing powered by the intelligent cloud and the intelligent edge. We'll then dive first into the platform that powers that vision, Azure, with my boss, Scott Guthrie. Tomorrow, we'll learn about Microsoft 365 with Joe Belfiore. Over the next 3 days, the many sessions, labs, workshops, and theater presentations will get you the information and answers you need to get stuff done. And we've worked hard to bring that content to life with real-world examples. In fact, at this year's Build, we have more customers and partners presenting than we ever have before. And they're here to share with you how they solved real development challenges. I'm so pumped about the next 3 days, but I can tell you Build is only a portion of what we do for developers around the world. You know, Microsoft got its start building developer tools, and developers have always been at the heart of what we do. Recently, we've made an investment where we've built a team of global developer advocates that represent the broadest spectrum of communities, from JavaScript and Kubernetes to Python and Ruby to Node, along with .NET and our Windows communities. Our developer advocates go where you are, listening, advocating for you every day. You'll find us in unexpected places like KubeCon, NGConf, OSCON, along with Dev Intersections and VS Live. Those coupled with the many user groups, meetups, and developer events that happen in your own backyard. Here at Build, you'll find our developer advocates located in the community lounge, and I would encourage all of you to go by, say hello, tell us what you're thinking, get some help on a project, and hopefully make some new friends. And while our developer advocates specialize in this work, you'll see today that all of us here at Microsoft are here to understand what's important to you, to start a dialogue, to empower you to do more. Build is special because it brings so many of us together in one place. From enterprises to fledgling startups, from Fortune 500 architects to DevOps engineers, from experienced developers to students who are shaping the future of our industry. That mix of talent is on display here today with this amazing crowd here in Seattle and so many more participating online. In fact, we have developers from over 70 countries participating in this year's Build, and our youngest Build attendee is Disa, who is just 10 years old. And she's joined by her sister, Anna, who is just 12 years old. They're a great reminder of the importance of young people when we think about future developers. We recently launched Azure for Students, which enables students to get connected to the cloud and start learning right now. We've also connected universities and curriculum to world-class infrastructure and machine learning so they can empower their students to innovate. Additionally, we've launched Microsoft for Startups, where we're investing $500 million to turn young companies and help them evolve into healthy, thriving businesses. We do this through our co-sell program, where we connect both startups and our partners to our enterprise customers through our worldwide sales force and channel. This program continues to grow beyond expectations, delivering over $2.3 billion in partner revenue to date. And we're also making significant investments in our marketplaces so that we can make it easier for our customers and partners to do business together. So if you're building Azure solutions, please check out our cloud marketplaces. Finally, we are making significant investments in our online presence, making it easier to navigate our websites and documentation while offering increasingly coherent and relevant content worldwide, localized in 64 languages. In fact, everything you'll hear at Build this week about our products will also be available online. You know, Satya often remarks, there has never been a better time to be in technology. I truly believe that. There has never been a better time to be in technology, and there has never been a better time to be a developer. Thank you all for coming, and have a fantastic Build.
Please welcome Satya Nadella.
Good morning and welcome to Build 2018. Welcome to Seattle. It's fantastic to see you all back here. You know, this morning I got up and I was reading the news, and I hear Bill Gates is talking about stock. And he's talking about the Apple stock. And I said, wow, In the 30 years that at least I've known Bill, I've never seen him talk about stock, but today must be a new day for sure when you hear Bill talk about Apple stock. So that's the new Microsoft for you. You know, last year, we talked about opportunity and responsibility. And both those topics have been so far amplified. It's unimaginable. In fact, for the first time here last year is when I started talking about the intelligent edge. And 12 months after, it's everywhere. In fact, at this conference, it's going to be something that we will unpack in great detail. The platform advances are pretty amazing. But most importantly, it's the developers who are pushing these platform advances. So to see the intelligent edge go from some sort of a conceptual frame to this real thing that's shaping the cloud is stunning. Last year, we also talked about this notion of responsibility and that none of us wanted to see a future that Huxley imagined or Orwell imagined. And that's now become a mainstream topic of discussion. And so I was thinking about the historical parallels where there was this much change, this kind of opportunity, this kind of tumultuous discussion. And I was reminded of a book that I read maybe 3 years ago by Robert Gordon, The Rise and Fall of American Productivity, or American Growth. And in there, he, in fact, talks about the Industrial Revolution and even contrasts it with the digital revolution. He gives PC credit for the last time digital technology showed up in our productivity stats, which is nice. But in general, he sort of talks about what an amazing revolution the Industrial Revolution was in terms of its broad sectoral impact and productivity and growth. This is a picture of New York City, probably 1905, I'm told. Flatiron Building, and what you see is horse carriages. And if you go to the next picture, this is 20 years after. And you see all the artifacts of the Industrial Revolution and its diffusion. You see the automobiles. These buildings now are beginning to have sewage systems, drainage, air conditioning is coming, radios, telephones, high-rises. It's pretty amazing. But there's one other salient piece to this. The core technologies of the Industrial Revolution, whether it's the internal combustion engine or electricity, are nowhere to be seen. They're invisible. And I'm reminded of this Mark Weiser quote: "The most profound technologies are those that disappear. They weave themselves into the fabric of everyday life until they are indistinguishable from it." This was from his very influential paper, early 90s, when he was at Xerox PARC. And that's what's happening. That's the opportunity that we see. The world is becoming a computer. Computing is getting embedded in every person, place, and thing. Every walk of life, in our homes, in our cars, at our work, in our stadiums, in our entertainment centers. Every industry, from precision agriculture to precision medicine, from autonomous cars to autonomous drones, from personalized retail to personalized banking, are all being transformed. In fact, if you think about the sheer computing power that is getting distributed, and how that computing power is being used to collect data, fuse sensor data, reason over that data, create the rich experiences throughout our life. It's pretty stunning. That's the opportunity that we have. It's in some sense endless. But we also have responsibility. We have the responsibility to ensure that these technologies are empowering everyone. These technologies are creating equitable growth by ensuring that every industry is able to grow and create employment. But we also have a responsibility as a tech industry to build trust in technology. In fact, Hans Jonas was a philosopher who worked in the 50s, 60s, and he wrote a paper on technology and responsibility. He was not referencing as much the digital tech, and a lot of his work got picked up later in bioethics, in other fields. But he talks about act so that the effects of your action are compatible with permanence of genuine life. That's something that we need to reflect on. Because he was talking about the power of technology being such that it far outstrips our ability to completely control it, especially its impact even on future generations. And so we need to develop a set of principles that guide the choices we make, because the choices we make is what's going to define the future. We're focused on three core pillars. First, privacy. Privacy is a human right. We at Microsoft have enshrined a set of principles that ensure that we preserve this human right, protect this human right. We ensure that when we use data, it is to benefit the user. We ensure that the user is always in control of their data and its use. GDPR is a sound, good regulation. We have been working hard to ensure compliance with it by end of this month when it becomes in effect. We have hundreds of engineers across the company building the compliance infrastructure. In fact, we're going to help our customers who use our products and services get compliant. But we know that this is just the starting point. It's just like security. We're never going to be done. We are going to continuously commit ourselves to work to preserve privacy. Same thing with the Cloud Act. No company has done more in terms of working hard to ensure that there is a framework of law that governs how legitimate governments and legitimate needs of governments to protect their citizens are balanced with privacy. We've had 4 cases against the US government that we've litigated since 2013. One of them went all the way to the Supreme Court. While we were litigating, we were also working with both sides of the aisle on the legislative process. And so we think the Cloud Act is a good start. It creates a framework. We hope that the rest of the world and the United States can create, in fact, an intergovernmental framework around this. And meanwhile, we will continue to do what we have done, which is to ensure that customers are in control and privacy is preserved. Cybersecurity. We need to act with collective responsibility across the tech sector to help keep the world safe. We recently formed a program to protect our democracy, where we are going to work with the campaigns, the civic society, other constituents, so that we can secure our political process, our democratic process. We also led a consortium of 34 tech companies with the Tech Accord to ensure that citizens across the world are protected from cyber attacks. It's the Digital Geneva Convention of our times. Ethical AI. We need to ask ourselves not only what computers can do, but what computers should do. That time has come. We formed an ethics board inside the company, which is a very diverse group of people who govern the products we build, the projects we engage in. But beyond that, we are also investing in tools, because one of the key things that we have to do is put tools in the hands of developers, designers. Just like with good user experience and UI, we need good AI. We need to make this a first-class engineering discipline where the choices that we make can be good choices for our future. We're used to data sheets for software systems. We've always had these data sheets where the input-output was specified and we could reliably use software systems. We need the same for data. We need data sheets for data so that we can know where the data came from, what are its intended uses. Debiasing word embeddings. So there's some amazing advances in AI around language, except we train on the corpus of language that's out there. And unfortunately, the corpus of language that's out there has our biases. So we need the tools that can debias these word embeddings that we learn because of the state of the art of AI. We also need privacy-preserving AI or private AI. In many cases, you need to be able to take data, have it cross even organizational boundaries. And to be able to do that by using techniques like homomorphic encryption, so that you can learn, train on encrypted data. We're already working on some of these technologies. We have libraries that work with things like Azure ML, and we're working with the healthcare and pharma industries. So these are investments we're making today to ensure that we can all collectively make ethical AI choices. This is what grounds us. This opportunity and responsibility is what grounds us in our mission to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. We're focused on building technology so that we can empower others to build more technology. We've aligned our mission, the products we build, our business model, so that your success is what leads to our success. There's got to be complete alignment. So this conference and the rest of my talk is about creating that opportunity for all the developers in the room. We're focused on two massive platform opportunities. One, Microsoft Azure, the other, Microsoft 365. And both these platform opportunities are being shaped by one major shift in the technology paradigm, the shift to the intelligent cloud and the intelligent edge. And there are three foundational technologies that are impacting this shift. The first one is ubiquitous computing. The world's applications going forward need a ubiquitous computing fabric from the cloud to the edge. They need a new app model that is distributed, event-driven, and serverless. That's what we're building with Azure. Azure is being built as the world's computer. It already has 50+ regions, 70+ certifications, more regions and more certifications than any other public cloud. And that's so that we can meet the real-world needs of customers, their digital sovereignty needs, their regulatory needs. But we're not stopping there. In fact, as computing spreads, as there is need for computing at the edge, we are building out Azure, Azure Stack, Azure IoT Edge, and Azure Sphere as this one computing fabric that supports this new application model. And so let's delve right into it. Let's take one at a time. Azure. We've had something like 130 new capabilities that we have shipped in just the last year in Azure. The pace of innovation is pretty stunning. In fact, there is 70 of them that are going to be launched just at the Build conference. Azure Stack, and of course we have all the customers, the brands you saw in the previous slide. It's amazing to see year over year growth of Azure in terms of how deeply some of these brands rely on Azure. And Azure Stack, which is just a year old, is supporting multiple scenarios. For example, Chevron is using it so that they can essentially have Azure in a disconnected way at their oil rigs. A bank in South Africa, ABSA, is using it for their regulatory workloads, as well as using the public cloud Azure. And then Schlumberger is actually doing distributed computing. So they use the public cloud as well as Azure Stack as one fabric to be able to distribute compute so that it's close to where the data is. So these are all new scenarios which are pretty unique to Azure and what it can do. Azure IoT Edge. Again, phenomenal to see the progress. It runs both on Linux and Windows as first class, and we're pushing on Windows to make the management security with both Windows IoT and Windows 10 so that this runtime is well integrated. In fact, with Windows ML, we now have an inference engine for AI that works with the IoT runtime and will be hardware accelerated. And today I'm really pleased to announce that we're going to open source the Azure IoT Edge so that developers can extend it and contribute to it and take it to all the places that it's needed in. We already have significant momentum. Customers such as Starbucks, Ecolab, Schneider Electric, Rockwell Automation, many customers, and over 230 partners who have certified over 1,000 devices already for the Azure IoT Edge. And today, I'm really thrilled to announce a new partnership with Qualcomm, who's going to bring a new Qualcomm accelerated camera for scenarios from home security to industrial safety, and releasing a computer vision toolkit with it. So you can, in fact, run a container that's been trained in the cloud and deployed right on the camera for computer vision. And this is going to be available by end of the year for developers to deploy. I'm also thrilled to announce a partnership with DJI, a leader in civilian drones and aerial imagery. DJI is doing two things. One is they're launching an SDK on Windows 10, so developers building commercial apps for a variety of different vertical industries now will have full access to the drone, both the data as well as the flight plan. So you can imagine what you can do in agriculture, industrial safety. Many of these applications can get written on Windows as the control plane for the autonomous drone. And we are also integrating Azure IoT Edge right into the drone itself. So again, you can deploy compute AI models that have been trained in the cloud to the edge right on the drone. And to complete the picture, Azure Sphere. This was announced at RSA just last month. It brings together secure silicon design, a secure operating system, as well as a security and a management service all together, so that 9 billion plus microcontrollers that ship each year. I mean, talk about a business opportunity for all developers. 9 billion new compute nodes. And you can think of that as just part of Azure. Same programming model, same tool chain. And so this is what we're building out as one ubiquitous computing fabric. And so I wanted to roll the video of Azure Sphere, and then I want to have Sam George from our Azure IoT team come up and show you some of this stuff in action. Sam?
Thanks, Satya. Good morning, everyone. The Internet of Things is transforming how companies do business. With devices collecting real-time information about products and assets, it's never been easier to benefit from IoT. And those benefits include eliminating downtime, reducing environmental impact, and delivering breakthrough product innovations. Today, Rockwell Automation is delivering industrial automation solutions across infrastructure, manufacturing, power generation, and so much more. They've been using Azure IoT already to connect to the equipment that powers these industries and using Azure services to predict the maintenance needs and eliminate downtime for them. So let's look into the future at some of Azure's new intelligent edge capabilities that Rockwell Automation will be using to detect visual defects and anomalies automatically. Now, for context, as devices and sensors generate more and more data, such as video data, it's more practical to deliver compute and AI right down to the devices themselves. Now, this is where Azure IoT Edge comes in. Azure IoT Edge enables Azure services as well as your own code to escape the cloud and be deployed directly down onto devices and managed remotely, all on devices smaller than a Raspberry Pi or as large and capable as the solution calls for. To see this in action, let's take a look at a Rockwell Automation operational dashboard. Now in this dashboard, I have two alerts. One is inside the building, and the other is up on the roof. Let's take a look at the one inside the building first. And when I click on it, I see the image of an anomaly that was captured. Now this anomaly was detected by a camera produced by Qualcomm in partnership with Microsoft. It has rich compute and AI capabilities, and it runs Azure IoT Edge. Now to power this, we've used Azure Machine Learning to build an AI model and packaged it up in a Docker container, and then deployed it to this camera. Because we're using this technique, we can deploy it to millions of these in minutes. Through various talks this week, you're going to see us show you exactly how easy it is for you to do the same thing. Now with Azure IoT Edge and our AI model running locally on this camera, it means Rockwell doesn't have to send all of that video to the cloud. Instead, they can simply send alerts. It also means they don't have to manually inspect all those pipes. Now our AI model detected a stress fracture, and if left untreated, it can be very dangerous. So I'm going to create a ticket in Dynamics 365 to dispatch a technician. Great. So back on our dashboard, the second alert is a pressure drop in a pipe up on the roof. Now environments like this can be dangerous to technicians and very costly to organizations to deploy them. So this really calls for a solution with a new perspective. DJI is the world's leader in drone technology. From ready-to-fly consumer products to highly configurable industrial platforms capable of doing jobs that are dull, dirty, or just dangerous. And like us, they give people the tools they need to bring their innovations to life. Microsoft is partnering with DJI to bring Azure IoT Edge right to their drones. And this is significant because it means any Azure developer using Azure Machine Learning can develop AI models and deploy them to their drones. It also means I can take that same AI model that went to the Qualcomm camera and deliver it to the DJI drone. Now this incredible drone is a DJI M210 RTK, and it's capable of running Azure IoT Edge right on board. This smaller drone is a DJI Mavic Air, and it's perfect for learning the principles of flight and for developing and testing your AI models. Now, it's all well and good to talk about drones, but I bet you'd like to see me fly one, and I would love to. But unfortunately, in a room like this, you need a commercial drone pilot license to do that, and they're incredibly hard to get. So for that, we're going to welcome Francisco from DJI out to the stage to fly for us. Come on out. Now Francisco is going to be flying the DJI Mavic Air over the pipes that you see here, which represent the ones 150 feet up on the roof. And the Mavic Air is going to be streaming video back to the laptop here, which is running Azure IoT Edge as well as our AI model, all packaged up in a great UWP app. And when it sees the anomaly, it'll draw that same yellow bounding box that you saw with the Qualcomm camera. All right, let's check it out. Now, as you can see, we're detecting that anomaly in real time. For the first time ever, we're able to stream video back from that drone to this laptop running IoT Edge and our AI model, which was developed in the cloud. And as I mentioned, the M200 will be running that right on board. Great, thank you, Francisco. Now, that anomaly was pretty easy to see, but in the real world, there's hundreds of pipes over thousands of miles, so solutions like this will save Rockwell significant time and expense. Now, if you're eager to try this out, DJI is offering an early release of the Windows SDK exclusively to Build attendees. Stop by their booth, check it out, and try it for yourself. Now, you've just seen 2 instances of the intelligent edge in action, deploying the same AI model to both the Qualcomm camera as well as the DJI drone. And the best part is, as I find new defects in my model and retrain it, I can deploy that out in minutes to millions of devices, immediately making the intelligent edge even more intelligent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sam and Francisco. It was fantastic to see. And moving to the next key technology, which is AI. In fact, you saw some of that in action in the drone. So let's just unpack that more. You know, when it comes to AI breakthroughs, Microsoft has had many. If you look at just 2016, that was when the first time we had the 152-layer ResNet that achieved human parity in object recognition. We then went on to achieve human parity on speech recognition using the Switchboard dataset. We now have the joint leadership on the Stanford Q&A dataset when it comes to machine reading and comprehension, which was just in January of 2018. And then in March of 2018, we achieved human parity around machine translation. If you look, you even see the pace with which these breakthroughs are coming. You know, but the one thing that I think about as a platform company, as a tools company, is, in some sense, who cares about breakthroughs we achieve? What matters is, can we translate these into frameworks, tools, and services and put them in your hands as developers so that you can take AI and have impact in every industry, in every application. To us, that's what's important. We truly are committed to, in some sense, commoditizing AI. We have to go from sort of talking about AI being in the hands of a few companies to being in a place where AI is everywhere. It's in the hands of every developer and every organization. That's the next real shift. And that requires us to be able to scale, first of all, AI across both the cloud and the edge. We need to have the most productive tool chain to be able to create AI and customize AI. And then you need openness when it comes to frameworks and infrastructure. They can't be locked in. And that's what we're working on. In fact, Azure Cognitive Services, you know, in the last 3 years have gone from, again, early releases to full-fledged services. We have the most number of cognitive services, 35+ services that are available to developers today, spanning speech, vision, language, machine translation. But the key is that you can customize these. In other words, you can bring your data, your label data, and use it to customize the models and then deploy the models where you need it inside your applications. And there are many, many customers, and this applies across vision, speech, and language, and we have many customers already doing this. In fact, Coca-Cola used computer vision in a very innovative marketing program. BMW is building their own personal assistant for their car that's branded by them. Twitter uses our machine translation to be able to translate every tweet. KPMG uses, in fact, speech for compliance. NBA uses semantic search. RIT, it's a fantastic case study of using machine translation and speech recognition to make classrooms inclusive. They customize it by teaching these systems the specific subjects. I mean, think about what it can do for an inclusive classroom. But these cognitive services are also ushering in many AI-enabled devices. In fact, Huawei has built a broad range of devices. Their Mate 10 includes our machine translation and does even offline translation using their NPU on board. Xiaomi worked with another travel company, Samjoy, and brought a new device, which is so phenomenal because what it does is it uses speech recognition and machine translation to give every Chinese traveler a far-field device to be able to communicate with anyone else without the language barrier. It's pretty amazing to see this device in action without the awkwardness of a phone that you're trying to thrust in front of someone. So in order to really democratize the creation of more of these types of AI-powered, AI-enabled devices, I'm really thrilled to announce a speech device SDK, as well as reference kits that Rubo, which is one of our OEM partners and ODM partners out of China, has built. This is a microarray speaker that you can take and deploy in any device. Many industrial applications now get built by recognizing ambient noise and signatures. And so these are devices that can be built by developers for even low volume scenarios in the enterprise market, as well as consumer applications. And talking about these AI devices, Kinect, when we first launched it in 2010, was a speech-first, gaze-first, vision-first device. It was used in gaming, and then later on it came to the PC, and it was used in many applications: medical, industrial, robotics, education. And in fact, I remember distinctly going to a children's hospital in Chile and seeing it used for remote physical therapy. And so we've been inspired by what developers have done. And since Kinect, we've made a tremendous amount of progress when it comes to some of the foundational technologies in HoloLens. And so we're taking those advances and packaging them up as Project Kinect for Azure. And this Project Kinect for Azure is going to have some of the best spatial understanding, skeletal tracking, object recognition, and package some of the most powerful sensors together with the least amount of depth, noise, and also have ultra-wide field of view. And so this set of sensors we expect to be fully integrated into many different applications, both on the consumer side as well as the industrial side. The next big area of AI is conversational AI. It was 2 years ago when we talked about bots as the new applications. Every company will build branded agents. This is pretty critical because if these are the new apps, you need to be able to brand them, especially the consumer-facing ones. It's not sufficient to just build skills for others' agents, but you need to be able to have your own agent that can directly talk to customers. And every agent should be able to converse across multiple personal digital assistants. Right? And we now see a tremendous amount of momentum with all of these technologies. In just 2 years, we have seen many customers build both customer-facing, employee-facing bots for a variety of different use cases. Let's just roll a video to show you what customers are doing with bots. And at this conference, we're launching 100+ new features for the bot framework so that you can continue to build these conversational interfaces and give them more of the customization. So for example, you can have a custom wake word, you can give it custom speech, you can even give it custom personality, take some of the FAQs and turn them into Q&As, and then take the corpus of data you have in terms of conversations and use that as labeled data to have a full dialogue system. So amazing stuff for you to be able to build much more sophisticated conversational applications. We also have the capability to be able to take the applications you build and then have them show up in all channels and personal digital assistants. So having done all the hard work of having built one conversational interface, you want to have the maximum reach as a developer. So that means you should be able to publish it in Cortana, you should be able to publish it in Skype, in Facebook, and we have now 16+ channels. By just simply registering the channel, tagging the intents, you can have your conversational interface show up everywhere. So this is, I think, one of the key concepts that we want to make sure we get across is the separation of how you build the conversational dialogue system and the tool chain you need, the sophistication of that tool chain, so that you can build a branded asset from where all it shows up. They don't need to be coupled. And that's what we're enabling. When it comes to tools and frameworks, it starts with having the best data estate. And Azure, you'll hear from Scott later about our data estate. Last year, we started talking about Cosmos DB. It's one of the fastest growing databases today. To what we have done with SQL and our data warehouse and our data lake, because you now have the ability to bring all your data in its native form and then have a best tool chain for you to be able to prep that data, to iterate on it, to build your models, and then to deploy them where you need it, either using our batch services or our Kubernetes service. So that tool chain is what's going to be very, very critical to be something that gives you that productivity edge. But there's one other thing, which is we want to make sure there's openness in every layer. Just because you like one of the frameworks, in fact, you should be able to choose any framework. You should be able to choose CNTK or TensorFlow or PyTorch or MXNet, any framework of your choice. Use those frameworks using this tool chain to build your model, and then you want to be able to deploy it on the infrastructure. And even there, we have worked with Facebook to create this open neural network exchange, ONNX, which is supported broadly now by all of the frameworks I mentioned, as well as the hardware acceleration from Intel, from Qualcomm, NVIDIA. It's supported the 2 inference engines, Core ML on iOS, as well as Windows ML supported. So that means you have this intermediate representation between your frameworks and the hardware so that you don't get locked in. Just because you love one framework doesn't mean you got locked in to one particular neural processing unit. And so we want to open that up. And talking about AI infrastructure, I'm really thrilled to announce the preview of Project Brainwave. Project Brainwave is a distributed real-time AI fabric that today is working with FPGAs from Intel to bring the best-in-class real-time AI, low-latency AI capabilities and inferencing capabilities. It has 5x lower hardware latency than TPU for real-time AI. And this is going to be available in preview for developers. And we're also going to extend it all the way to the edge. We're working with our system partners to take FPGA and make it available wherever Azure is available. And we have many customers who have these high precision and high throughput needs who are working with us. And one such customer is Jabil. And so let's roll the video to show you how they're using FPGA for real-time AI already.
People tend to think of Jabil as a contract manufacturer. We are more than that. We're a manufacturing solutions provider. We've been talking with Microsoft about Project Brainwave. The benefit of the FPGA is the ability to deploy our machine learning models at the edge at a lower cost than GPUs, but at a higher performance capability than CPUs.
The early test result from Microsoft has shown FPGA is capable of predicting 550 images a second, comparing with a CPU cluster with 40 images a second.
The potential for Project Brainwave is substantial in allowing us to move forward at scale for machine learning across Jabil. Very exciting.
And so that brings me to the final major technology that's shaping this shift, which is multi-sense, multi-device experiences. And Microsoft 365 is the coming together of Windows and Office to build this multi-device, multi-sense experience, service, and platform. And it puts people at the center versus devices at the center. And I think it's easy for us to think about this by looking at what happens and how you interact with Microsoft 365. You may pick up a phone and use Outlook Mobile in the morning. You're in the car, you're joining a Skype meeting because Skype is embedded in the car dashboard. You come to work, you work on a PC, on Word, and you're collaborating with someone from across the country. You're in a meeting where you have a large screen device like the Surface Hub. During a single day, you're using multiple devices. You're at multiple locations, working with multiple people, and interacting using multiple senses. That's the world we already live in. We need an operating system. We need a platform that abstracts the hardware at that level, that creates an app model at that level. Single devices remain important, will remain important, but this meta orchestration is what we need to do We need to up-level even our concept of what an operating system is. And that's what Microsoft 365 does. And in fact, you can start as a developer, right, at least in the case of Windows, where a lot of our applications are, which is on the desktop, on your laptop. With Fluent, you can modernize for the mouse and keyboard a Win32 app, a WPF app, a Universal app. Every one of these applications can be modernized using Fluent. Of course, applications are not just rectangular windows anymore. You can add senses, so you can add ink, you can add speech, both far field and near field. This holiday season, you're going to have every PC, just like how they had touch, going to have a lot more of near field and far field with wake words or wake on voice capable devices out there. You can have mixed reality, you can have gaze, so you can add application richness with multiple senses. But also, the applications themselves are going to be multi-device. In fact, at this conference, you're going to see how we're taking the Windows shell and using essentially the same set of APIs in Microsoft Graph to extend the shell. Timeline, which Joe will talk more about tomorrow, allows you to go from the phone to the PC and back and complete your tasks as one continuous stream. In fact, I think of Timeline allowing me to treat the phone as a second screen to the PC. And we're also introducing new capabilities for the phone. This is your ability to, in fact, take the phone and treat the PC as a second screen. So these are multi-device extensions of the shell. Office is built by definition as a multi-device service. So you can be on a Mac with Teams, an Android phone with Teams, and you can build a bot that integrates into Teams. You can have an adaptive card that integrates, basically allows you to take your service and the action on the service is showing up as an adaptive card in Outlook, either on a phone or on a PC. You can also have Excel call a cloud function. So you can go to Azure and use Azure functions to write a machine learning or an AI module that gets called by Excel using its cloud function functionality. These are all things that is extensions of M365. Perhaps one of the most quintessential multi-device, multi-sense surface areas is Cortana. Cortana is part of Windows Shell. It's built into Outlook. It's going to be built into Teams. It has these unique capabilities. It has the unique capabilities around scheduling meetings, transcribing meetings, keeping commitments. It saves me every day because it knows the mails I send where I commit to things, and it reminds me of those. And I already talked about how something like the bot framework can be used to build skills for Cortana as well as many other surface areas. But there's one other thing that we've been doing with Cortana, which is ensuring that Cortana can even converse with other personal digital assistants. We want to make it possible for our customers to be able to get the most out of their personal digital assistants, not be bound to some single walled garden, and for developers to have access to the maximum number of users. And so we've been working with our friends across the lake at Amazon to really bring Alexa and Cortana together to benefit every user and every developer out there. And to really show you this, I wanted to introduce up on stage Megan Saunders from Microsoft and Tom Taylor from Alexa.
In the real life, I go to the people I trust for advice. I talk to my mom about my teenagers, which is pretty often now. I talk to Joe B about my hair. And in the ambient world, we believe that assistants will work together each and every day to help us.
Thanks, Megan. It's really been great working with you and the rest of the team here at Microsoft with Alexa and Cortana. At Amazon, we believe voice will make customers' lives easier at home, at work, and everywhere in between. We share a vision that there'll be many successful intelligent agents working together to provide customers a more helpful experience. Now, we all know it's early days, but I'm very excited to show the progress, so let's do it.
Me too. Okay, you go to your office, and I'm going to go to my house.
Okay.
Now, at my house, we have an Echo in the kitchen, but it's Cortana that manages my schedule and my email. And to get my day started, coffee is very important, and I like milk. But with ravenous teenagers, we are often out. Alexa, add milk to my shopping list.
I've added milk to your shopping list.
Alexa, open Cortana.
Cortana here. How can I help?
How's my day?
I'll take a look. I see 2 events for today. First up, at 5:30 p.m., celebration with Tom at Harvest Vine. And then, at 8 p.m., pick up Maddie from soccer. What can I do for you?
Send an email to Tom Taylor saying, I'll see you tonight.
Sure. I'll email Tom Taylor. I'll see you tonight. Ready to send it?
Yes.
Great. I've sent it. How can I help?
I'm done.
Very cool.
Later.
I love being able to talk to both Cortana and Alexa on my PC. Let me show you how they help me through my day. Oh, I see I have an email from Megan about dinner tonight at Harvest Vine. Hey, Cortana, where is Harvest Vine?
Harvest Vine is about 2 miles away at 2701 East Madison in Seattle.
Better get going. Hey, Cortana, open Alexa.
Hi there. This is Alexa. How can I help?
Get me a ride to Harvest Vine.
There is an Uber X 2 minutes away from your Alexa address. Should I order it?
Yes, please.
Okay, requesting your ride. This may take a few moments. Would you like to continue?
Yes.
Okay, your Uber driver, Sarah, is arriving. Look for a Toyota Camry. What's next?
Turn off the lights, please.
What else can I help you with?
What do you think about Cortana?
I like Cortana. We both have experience with light rings, although hers is more of a halo. Is there anything else?
Thanks, that's it. Just a few of the things that Alexa and Cortana help me do throughout my day. Well, Megan, it's really been great to be here with you today. I can't wait to see what customers do.
Yes, we're really excited about this first step in a longer journey as intelligent friends, both in the real and the ambient worlds. Now, we're committed to meeting customers wherever they are on whatever device is most convenient for them. Now, this experience is still in a limited beta, but you can go to this website to be notified when we go live. Now, for all of you developers out there, building skills for Cortana and Alexa is going to enable access to more people across more devices, and we can't wait to see what you will build. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan and Tom. So that shows you how every Windows developer, every Office developer going forward, across all of these experience scaffoldings, from Cortana to Teams to Outlook to Timeline to Windows, can become an M365 developer. The underpinning of Microsoft 365 is this graph. It's this ability to have users' activity across devices, across their life and work, explicitly represented, that you can use. This data is owned by users and organizations, and they give explicit consent to developers to be able to use that data, extend that data. That means your applications can be part of the graph. So this is not a closed graph, it's an extensible graph, so that we can collectively add more to our customers with these cross-device experiences, these multi-sense applications. This explicit representation of activity is a massive unlock to the richness of the applications that we build. And already many developers are taking advantage of it, from Adobe to GitHub to HubSpot to Sage to Trello to Zendesk. These are all graph developers. And so we expect this list to grow and this conference to help you get a better handle on the types of applications you can build that cross devices and cross senses. But so far, the representation has had data that is personal, that is organizational, as well as the web. But it's all been digital. In other words, it's digital artifacts that have been schematized. We want to go to the next step. We want to be able to take the real world, spatial data, hospital, factory, homes, offices, as explicitly represented entities in this graph, so that you can build applications that are just not about the digital world, but span the digital and the physical world. And this is where some of the work that we've done with HoloLens has already taken us. But we are now launching a set of SaaS applications as part of Microsoft 365, which use HoloLens to be able to bring the spatial data into the Microsoft Graph. And to show you both these advances in Microsoft 365 for first-line work and these new SaaS applications, and then have other colleagues join her to show all of Microsoft 365, please help me welcome Lorraine Bardeen. Hello.
Thank you, Satya. We're going to show how Microsoft 365, Azure, and the Microsoft Graph can bring the power of computing into the real world. So first, I'm going to talk about industry and about first-line workers. And then we're going to switch gears and talk about the future of meetings and knowledge workers. So first-line workers in any company, they're the first to the customer, and they're the first to the problem. We see a huge untapped potential to empower those 2 billion first-line workers around the world with technology, so they can further contribute to the growth and the innovation and the success of their companies. And this opens up a huge new business opportunity for you as well, to bring your existing skills to a new customer base. So let's start by talking about what we've learned. In the past couple of years since we started shipping HoloLens, my team has been paying really close attention. What are those workflows that cut across first-line industries? We've collaborated with hundreds of customers, and we've identified that those highest value workflows are remote assistance, space planning, training and development, and product-focused collaboration, and real-time access to IoT and spatial data. So let's take a look at the first two of those high-value workflows, remote assistance and space planning, through the eyes of our customer, ZF Manufacturing. Let's roll that video.
ZF Transmissions is a worldwide builder of high-end transmissions for luxury and industrial vehicles.
We want to be the technology leader for automotive support autonomous driving. If I want that, I can not only have the best product, I also have to have the best processes. And I have to have the best technology to support our processes.
The passion is about bringing technology that adds value, and not just value to the business process, but value to the people. Because without the people out there on the shop floor, we're nothing.
I'm Matthias Stütz. I try to solve problems that the machines have, that they have less downtime, that we have a higher technical availability. Because if the machines are not running, we're not producing parts, so we don't make money.
I'm Lee Payton. I'm a planning engineer here at FTG. I receive layouts for new equipment to come into the plant and make adjustments and then place those pieces of equipment in the plant drawing. A lot of times I have to take screenshots at specific angles so that I can get exactly what they want to see, and I have to make adjustments and really have to fill in the blanks with an explanation. And I have a difficult time trying to produce that with the tools that I have.
99% of our equipment comes from Germany and Switzerland. Either they can help us over the phone or they have to fly in. So it could be a day, could be 5 days. Speaking to someone who has the same machine in Germany and has 10 more years of experience with it, you can figure out problems way more faster.
I saw items that I've spent hours on building come into a real-life environment, and I was able to manipulate those and change those to reflect the environment that they're in. That was a great planning tool.
When I can do what I love the most and technology helps me with that, I don't feel like I'm wasting my time.
I'm a person of very few words. I communicate best through my creative endeavors, so that's the tool that I prefer to use, and hopefully it becomes one of the best tools that I have.
You can see how bringing those mixed reality capabilities into their workflows, it improved the quality and the speed and the outcomes for both Lee and Matthias. And this is technology that connects them to other people through their work. So my team's been hard at work, and today we are incredibly excited to announce 2 new mixed reality business applications, Microsoft Remote Assist and Microsoft Layout. And these are joining the Microsoft 365 family and available for public preview starting May 22nd. With Microsoft Remote Assist, first-line workers can bring an expert right where they need them, and they can share what they're seeing. This is really important because often they don't have the help they need on site. They can collaborate to solve problems faster using heads-up, hands-free, video calling, image sharing, and mixed reality annotations. And the IT administrators, they can count on secure access, secure communications through Microsoft Teams. And then those experts, they don't have to head out into the field or hop on a plane to solve problems. This really expedites their troubleshooting, and it eliminates a ton of travel costs. Now, with Microsoft Layout, teams can experience designs at real-world context. They can share and edit those designs in real time, and they can make better decisions faster. There are a lot of ways to design spaces right now, but it's so hard to visualize them in the real world at size, scale, and context, which means that decisions end up taking a lot longer than they should, and often costly rework is needed. But with Microsoft Layout, teams can make decisions that used to take weeks or months. They can often make them in just days. So you remember those workflows I was talking about at the beginning? So first, we're releasing these 2 applications against those first 2 workflows. And soon we'll be sharing more about how we're going to help with training and development and product-focused collaboration. And right now, we're actively working with customers to provide real-time spatial data to first-line workflows. Now, as developers, when you design for HoloLens, you're designing for this first-person point of view, which means that you have access to just rich, new data and inputs. And then when you design for IoT, right, you're coding against the real world. And that's more rich, new data. And we believe it's the combination of these 2 things that's going to increase the value of your applications tremendously. Because with Azure IoT Edge, with connections to the Microsoft Graph, and with capabilities like Bot Framework, these world-sensing devices, they contribute as members of the team, and they're integrated with existing workflows. Let's take a look at this in action at one of ThyssenKrupp Aerospace's factories. Let's roll that video.
At ThyssenKrupp Aerospace, we partner with the world's leading aerospace companies to simplify their supply chain management. We have a complex flow of materials in our factory to keep production running smoothly.
Our top priority is keeping people safe and making sure they have access to all the tools and information they need to make better decisions quickly.
Microsoft's mixed reality tools are helping us get there. As we take on new projects, we need to optimize our workflows. With Microsoft Layout, we're able to make design changes in our actual factory space with 3D holograms.
Once we have an optimized workflow, we use spatial analytics to help drive quality improvements. We're running 24/7 on most saws, so it's expensive to take one offline. Spatial analytics listens to our machines and helps to tell us the right time to replace a saw blade, balancing quality with the bottom line.
Integration with Teams and Cortana allows our workers to make quick, in-context decisions that speed up production.
With Microsoft's mixed reality tools, we're able to work faster, safer, and at a higher quality than ever before. We can't wait to scale this across our entire organization. There's so much possibility.
Some of you who were here last year will remember we showed this great demo of a workplace safety scenario in a factory. So it's only a year later, and ThyssenKrupp is using Azure IoT Edge, Microsoft Graph, Teams, and Cortana assembled into a workflow that's improving workplace safety and efficiency in their factory. These world-sensing devices, they can offload work so that the first-line workers can focus on their most important work. And they also provide their company with its own spatial data in a standardized format, so it can just be pulled right into existing workflows. So these 3 things that we talked about today, we're launching these mixed reality applications, and this is, in large part, it's contributing to a big audience expansion to those 2 billion first-line workers. It's a new set of customer needs and a new business opportunity for all of you. And we're also making available this spatial and IoT data, both to first-line workers and to their companies. Now, my team, we work to integrate cloud and edge and mixed reality technologies into products. What we're doing is we're breaking ground so that you all can invent and get to market even faster. And we just love being on this journey with all of you. So let's switch gears now, and let's take a look at the future of modern meetings. And for that, I'd like to invite out on stage Rana.
Thanks, Lorraine. A key component of building a modern workplace is creating tight connections between the people you work with, the content you create, and especially the conversations and meetings you share. So today we're going to show you some conceptual scenarios for how you can create those connections with intelligent devices and services that understand both our physical world and our digital world. Let's start with something we're all familiar with: meetings. Hey, Cortana, Set up a meeting right now with the Smart Building team to discuss the new project proposal we're creating.
Sure thing. You are all free now. Where do you want to meet?
Find me a conference room with a Surface Hub.
Okay, Teams Scrum Room is available now too. Want me to book it?
Yes, please.
Great, you are all set.
What you can see behind me is a common office meeting room, but this one's different. On the desk, we have a prototype device built on similar technologies to the ones we showed you earlier. It picks up both audio and video that you could pair with AI services and Microsoft 365 to help with key tasks like identification, voice transcription, and even real-time translation.
Welcome, Jamal. Hello, Dave.
The AI services even identify Dave and Jamal as expected meeting attendees. I'm going to go join them.
Good morning, Rana. Would you like to start the meeting?
Yes, please. I know Katie and Julia are coming from another meeting, so let's go ahead and get started. Dave, what's the latest with the Smart Building pilot?
I've already done some preliminary analysis on the data, and I'm finding some high-temperature outliers. We should discuss it later in the meeting.
Okay, sounds great.
Dave, do you know if we'll have enough of the Yanzi multi-sensors to update the showcase floor?
Actually, I have some concerns about the location of those sensors. We should hold off on doing a one-to-one replacement until I can...
Oh, I'm really sorry to interrupt, Dave. I actually have some ideas about the replacement, so maybe let's connect after the meeting.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll follow up with my team and post an update to the channel after the meeting.
And I'll follow up and send Yanzi an email about those showcase sensors.
Okay, that sounds great.
Now, take a look at the transcript behind me on the left. Even though we were all speaking over each other and the sound environment here is actually pretty challenging, the AI services, coupled with the audio and video signals from the device, could still accurately identify who was speaking and when. You'll also notice that it picked up our meeting items and listed them on the right. And the voice recognition model has been trained over time to understand our team's unique communication style and recognizes our speech patterns even when we're speaking in business jargon. This not only helps the interactions in the meeting room, but it helps remote participants have a more active meeting experience. Our remote teammate in China can see and hear a translation of this meeting. In fact, we can support multiple simultaneous translations. Hey, Katie. Hey, Julia.
Hey.
With Microsoft Teams, we can continue this conversation right within the context of the work we're creating together and the business apps we use to stay on top of our project. I can even access great third-party apps like Trello and GitHub. But now Cortana is in this workspace with me, so she can help me stay connected across all my experiences. As you can see here, Cortana has detected that we need to find a time to meet. Instead of me struggling to find time that works for everyone's calendar, Cortana will automatically offer up a few options based on our mutual availability. She'll even carry the context of our conversation forward to the meeting details. And just like that, our meeting is scheduled. But Cortana also understands the files we're working with, can detect that I want to share the Q2 sales forecast, and will bring the most relevant documents straight into this conversation with my team so I can share it in just a matter of seconds.
Nice. Hey, even though I came in late, I love that I can catch up and identify everyone in the room. I'm deaf, and I work with a sign language interpreter. The transcript doesn't eliminate the need for my interpreter, but it lets me give my full attention without having to worry about note-taking. This makes it a lot easier for me to bring my engineering knowledge to the table and participate in the discussion. I love getting the meeting notes at the end, too. Hey, we need to get started on the smart buildings proposal.
I've already started on the outline, but there's a bunch of elements we still need to include. Creating a proposal like this in the past was time-consuming, not just for me, but for everyone on my team. I'd send emails to experts, search for information I need, and run reports from line of business apps, all just to pull them into the document. Now, since everything is a part of the Microsoft Graph, I never have to leave my document, which means that I can stay focused, ask for what I need, and it just shows up. as I'm working on my document, I can add a simple reminder as a placeholder. Or say, I want to get a customer quote from my colleague, Patty. So what I'll do is I'll @mention Patty and ask her to please provide that great customer quote. Now, in the past, I'd have to switch from Word to Outlook and run the risk of getting sucked back into my inbox. But now, Patty's quote will show up in the document exactly where I need it. And what's great is I can keep working. So let's do that. Lastly, I want to provide some more information about the Yanzi Smart Building Sensors. So what I'll do is @todo and remind myself to insert the Yanzi information here. Now, this is my favorite part. Cortana has remembered that I've used this phrase before. Saw my intent from the to-do item, and then suggested the information I needed using AI. And in case you didn't notice, Patty's information showed up right as I was doing it. The graph becomes richer the more we use this service, and will better understand our intent. In the future, developers will be able to connect and extend their own applications and data sources to the graph and have that information show up in the document exactly where you need it.
Great. Thanks for that update, Jamal.
Anytime.
Katie, what's the latest with the common area designs?
I've been texting with James. Let me take a look. As an engineer, I spend a huge amount of time in front of my PC, but I'm also getting nonstop text messages and alerts on my phone. On average, we open our phones more than 100 times per day. But we think we can do better. With an Android phone and upcoming version of Windows 10. Let me show you 2 simple examples. As you can see, I'm getting SMS messages from my phone right here on my PC. I love being able to respond without having to pick up my phone and unlock it. It's much easier to type messages on my PC. I can also drag pictures from my desktop. Let me send this over. Not only that, when I get a picture from James, I can use it right away, just by dragging and dropping it into PowerPoint. Let's see how this sensor would look in our common rooms. Looks pretty good. I can also access my phone notifications and can click on them to open the equivalent Windows app or see them on the web. Here, I'm opening a Medium article on smart building design. I'll send it to the team after the meeting.
Great. Thanks, Katie. Dave, how about we hop into that temperature data now?
Of course. Let me bring up the latest data from Power BI.
Great.
This is the last 24 hours of temperature sensor data. And I can see that most of the sensors are reporting normal values. But I've got these 3 high temperature outliers. Let me reorganize the data by room type. When I do that, I can see that most of the high values are coming from focus rooms.
But we looked into that, didn't we? We didn't find any equipment in the focus rooms that would cause a temperature spike.
Yeah.
Right. But let me reorganize the data spatially, because I found something interesting.
OK.
These are the actual 3-dimensional positions of the sensors with the building plan. But let me add a 3D map layer from Bing for additional context. Now, I think the best way to look at spatial data is using my HoloLens. So I'm going to switch devices. Now, I'm going to connect my device to the screen and share my view. Now, let's take the hologram that I'm looking at and place it directly onto the meeting room table. In this way, everyone can get a sense of what I am seeing without having us all to wear HoloLenses. Now, I can clearly see that the 3 sensors giving us a problem are vertically aligned with one another. Let me just put it back. I've also asked my colleague Tal to join the meeting. Hey, Tal. Now, I can see Tal's avatar looking around the data, just as if she was in the room with us. Tal, have you got any insight as to why these 3 sensors that are in a vertical stack might be giving us an issue?
Dave, there's a hot air duct running from the cafeteria kitchen on the ground floor up to the roof. There were some changes in the kitchen recently. We may be way over spec thermally.
Got it. Maybe we should change the sensor placement for more consistent readings.
It's a good idea.
That's great. I'll follow up with the building manager to check both the hot air duct and the sensor position. Data visualization is a powerful tool for both finding and sharing insights in data, especially when we can collaborate with multiple people across multiple devices.
Using AI in the cloud, everything we've discussed has now been neatly captured as a searchable transcript on the left. And a summary of all of our meeting items have automatically been created for us on the right. Which reminds me, Dave, I need to follow up with you so you can present that data to our leadership team next week.
Great.
Great meeting. Thanks, team.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Today, we've shown you our vision for the future of modern work and how we can leverage the power of AI to connect experiences across our physical and digital worlds. With a range of intelligent devices and services, we can now understand the spoken and unspoken nuance of meetings, even when we're not in the room. Carry those insights into our broader team experiences and create opportunities for anyone to collaborate in more immersive ways. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rana and team. That was just pretty stunning stuff. You know, the opportunity, this platform shift to the intelligent cloud and the intelligent edge is pretty limitless. You saw that with Microsoft Azure and Microsoft 365. I mean, just 2 data points, that 9 billion microcontrollers are now compute endpoints, 2 billion plus people who are first-line workers are addressable with these scenarios with Microsoft 365. Just think about that as the base for which we want to innovate, build applications. Now, in fact, this very shift is even shaping the 2 other platforms, Microsoft Gaming and Dynamics 365. At GDC, we talked about how we're innovating across the console, PC, mobile, as well as with PlayFab on the cloud. And you'll see us talk more at E3 about where we are taking gaming. We're very, very excited about that opportunity. With Dynamics, in fact, the spring release we just recently launched, we also launched this very powerful platform, the Power Platform, Power BI, Flow, Power Apps, which acts as the extensibility framework for Microsoft Graph, extensibility framework for Dynamics, as well as Microsoft 365. And it's embeddable by every SaaS ISV. So we're excited about all these 4 products and platforms co-evolving with one major shift to the intelligent cloud and the intelligent edge. But when we talk about this limitless opportunity, it's not really about adding more screens or grabbing more screen time. It's about truly figuring out how to empower more people and more organizations. That's really what it's all about. We have a real responsibility as we think about the impact of technology to ensure that technology is reaching everyone. In the last few years at Microsoft, I've been truly inspired by the passion of people, the developers inside as well as in this community, where we have really taken some of the advances in AI in particular and applied it to accessibility, applied it to help people with disabilities. It's been a personal passion of mine, and it's been a privilege for me, a blessing for me to see that unfold. Every year we have this Hack Fest or 1 week, And each time when I see the types of things the developers are capable of doing, the magic they can create with learning tools in OneNote or using Gaze with ALS, it just really helps me see the bigger picture of what technology can do. Let's roll the video.
We have so many pupils who are non-verbal, but still have so much to say.
I want the exact same information that my hearing friends have.
There are barriers to communication everywhere, but I think it's time we look at the barriers as opportunities to reach out to everyone.
Soundscape fills in a lot of the mental map as you move.
Approaching intersection.
You can just put it in your pocket and go.
With ALS, you become locked in. But we see technology as a way to give back what ALS has taken away.
There's no better feeling than to hear a child say something that they've wanted to say and the look on their face after they've been able to say it.
When it's reading, I see spaces between the words, and it's easy to focus on.
Ajay realized that here was something that could change his life.
Now that I have my phone, I can see exactly what was said, and that's been a huge help to me.
The system is learning as it goes, and the accuracy has improved tremendously.
Students can pick any language that they choose to receive the information. It's like we jumped into the future.
Because communication is very important for all of us, and we just want to be together and not feel left out.
Aider les personnes avec autisme à communiquer, il y a des images.
Je parle, je donne une information à Arthur et elle est traduite par l'application El Picto instantanément en pictogramme et après d'une façon orale.
Va t'habiller et te brosser les dents.
On va pouvoir remettre en place une communication qui est plus spontanée. Je crois que ça aide à recréer du lien.
Both my wife and I are totally blind, and we have a 3-year-old son that's in preschool. He can see, but his parents can't. So to be able to know what's going on at his school is everything. The Seeing AI app has the ability to allow me access to the visual world. Artificial intelligence is beginning to have an impact on the lives of people with disabilities, but it's only going to grow. There is still so much out there to be done.
And I'm really pleased to close this keynote by announcing AI for Accessibility. This is a grant program that we are creating so that we can give grants to researchers, NGOs, developers, give them support, platform technologies, so that you can bring your ingenuity and passion to help the 1+ billion people in this world who have disabilities. I can't wait to see what you all build. Thank you all so very much, and have a fantastic rest of the build. Thank you.
Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Allison, and I am on the developer advocacy team here at Microsoft. I'm here to lead a very quick stretching break in between keynotes. Working with developers over the years, I see the toll that this role takes on our bodies. So these, in 90 seconds or less, these are my top stretching recommendations to keep all of you safe and healthy. This next part is, of course, optional, as is everything, but I do at this time invite you all to stand up just for a moment. I like how this is landing. Okay. Perfect. So standing up as tall as you can, Flip your arms so the palms face forward. Shoulders can come down just a little bit. Excellent. Spread your fingers as wide as you possibly can. All right, we start with the hands. Bring the hands together, interlace the fingers. Push as hard as you possibly can. Take a really deep breath in. Hold it. And exhale, let it go. Everything down. Perfect. All right, sweep the arms up high overhead. Just for a moment. We might need to negotiate a little space here. Take your elbows down to shoulder height. Perfect. Spread your fingers as wide as you possibly can here. Amazing. Okay, now start to draw the forearms back. Deep breath in. And then deep breath out. Bring the elbows and the palms together in front. Perfect. One more time, open up. Amazing. And then close up. Perfect. Arms down by your sides. All right, so a shoulder roll rule of thumb is up, back, and down. So drawing your shoulders up towards the ears, roll them back, flip your palms again. You see what happens when, yep, perfect. Spread the fingers as wide as you can, and now down. One more time together, roll up, roll back, and down. Perfect. All right, we'll release the neck, and then we'll be free to go. From here, looking down at your feet, tuck your chin into your chest. Perfect. Hips come forward just a little bit. All right, now look up towards the ceiling. All right, now look back towards me. This next part will involve curling in all fingers except for your thumb. Squeeze pretty tight. This is the best one. If we're gonna do anything to help our bodies out, this is it. Squeezing pretty tight, the thumbs are pointing back towards you. Draw the arms down by your sides. Back to the neck, look to your right, tuck your chin to chest. Now pull your left hand down towards the ground, and then flip the hand so the thumb points behind you. Perfect. Come back to center, relax. Look down towards the left. Pull your right hand down towards the ground, squeeze the hand. Flip it so the thumb goes down. Okay, come back to center. The last thing that I will say, I think the space requirement is a little tricky here, but if you have your arms down by your sides, you squeeze in, you point the thumbs up, thumbs down. This is the best carpal tunnel prevention relief that you can do. The best way to do it is actually up here, maybe sideways, right? So pull your arms back, kind of like we did with that shoulder roll, pull everything back, and then thumbs up, thumbs down. Squeeze tight. Raise your hand if you feel a little better. Yes, okay, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. I will be in the lounge all week. If you have any follow-up questions, please come by and say hi. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Today, right now, you have more power at your fingertips than entire generations that came before you. Think about that. That's what technology really is. It's possibility, it's adaptability, it's capability. But in the end, it's only a tool. What's a hammer without a person who swings it? It's not about what technology can do, it's about what you can do with it. You're the voice, and it's the microphone. When you're the artist, it's the paintbrush. We are living in the future we always dreamed of. We have mixed reality that changes how we see the world, and AI empowering us to change the world we see. You have more power at your fingertips than entire generations that came before you. So here's the question: what will you do with it?
Please welcome Scott Guthrie.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Build. Satya just talked about the intelligent edge and the intelligent cloud, and some of the incredible opportunities we now have as developers, and the amazing impact we can have on people's lives. I'm now going to go deeper into the platform and tools we're delivering with Microsoft Azure, and how you can take advantage of them to build truly amazing solutions. Now, one of the defining aspects of cloud computing is the ability to innovate and release new technology faster and at greater scale than ever before. This new set of technology, things like IoT, machine learning, microservices, AI, serverless computing, and more, is all happening right now thanks in large part due to cloud computing. And this is an incredibly exciting time to be a developer, and the opportunities to really explore new approaches and technology have never been greater. But I also recognize, all this stuff is cool, but it can also be more than a little overwhelming. I hear that concern a lot with a lot of my conversations with developers around the world. The expectation to know all of these new technologies, to be up to date with them all the time, can sometimes leave you feeling like you're falling behind. And the expectations that your companies have on you to quickly deliver breakthrough experiences with all this new technology has never been higher. In a lot of cases now, the technology that we're talking about today is really being bet on to deliver radically new digital experiences that completely transform your organization's business model. And you have to be careful about security while also simultaneously trying to be an expert on all this new tech and deliver those breakthrough solutions. And needless to say, this isn't all easy. And it's really with this understanding that shapes how we try to build and deliver Azure. Every day my team comes to work to make Azure a powerful enterprise-grade cloud service. And the more important work that we do is, in terms of building Azure, is really trying to focus it to guide it around your success. Having lots of great technology and lots of features is necessary, but not sufficient. It's really about how successful you can be using this technology in the cloud that ultimately matters. And to deliver on that, we focus Azure innovation really on your needs by making cutting-edge technology approachable to all developers and doing the heavy lifting to ensure that Azure uniquely meets enterprise scenarios. This means having an end-to-end experience across our cloud services, our management tools, and development tools that provides an incredibly productive cloud experience. One that's hybrid and enables you to build solutions that run consistently within both our public cloud data centers as well as your own. It means having a cloud that enables you to use AI and data to infuse intelligence into all your solutions. And it means having a cloud that you can trust. Trust is a core value of Azure, and we lead the industry on our work around security, compliance, privacy, and responsibility. And the focus we've had on delivering on innovation, trust, and results is leading to tremendous adoption of Azure right now. And you heard Satya talk about a whole bunch of the great customers using it today. Startups, governments, and over 90% of the Fortune 500 companies in the world are now running their businesses on Azure. These are just a handful of some of the logos of customers running on Azure today. Let's watch a video of a few of them talking about how they're using Azure to drive their success.
Microsoft Azure allows us to move forward our DevOps strategy. It's a way for us to manage, maintain, and build out our infrastructure.
The benefits we saw from the Azure migration was almost immediate.
Cosmos DB allows Domino's to have a globally redundant, reliable, and compliant solution all across the world. A few mouse clicks, you have a SQL solution in Europe.
We love the ability for us to, every single day, every single hour, almost in real time, assess what is important for our customers.
We develop one solution, and we can run that in public Azure or Azure Stack.
The key with serverless is really that you have a very short way from coding into actual operation of your code. I love Kubernetes.
Visual Studio Team Services has been super impactful in terms of our new platforms that we're building. We're using it to build CI/CD pipelines with our Azure Cloud instance.
Where Visual Studio App Center stood out was its reliability. We can write tests in one language, run them on a bunch of devices, and be able to rely on the test results.
It is very simple. I love C#. With Samsung devices, .NET is going to be everywhere.
We are all racing towards secure. By bringing the community to the data, we're actually able to speed the discovery of new knowledge.
Azure will be one of the leaders in that technology. Microsoft helped us achieve our digital transformation. It's put us over the top. We can handle the volume. We're like, bring it on. We want more.
So Azure's a broad platform. You can use Azure for infrastructure and just take advantage of it for things like compute, storage, and virtual machines. But you can also take advantage of over 100 highly engineered services to build your apps even faster. And this morning, I'm going to focus on 5 areas of innovation that we think are important for every developer as we move into this intelligent cloud and intelligent edge world. Let's start by talking about the work we're doing around dev tools and DevOps. Our mission with Visual Studio is to provide best-in-class tools for every developer. And we now have tools for developers who want a lightweight code-optimized editor, as well as for those looking for a full development IDE. And with Visual Studio Team Services, we provide a suite of developer SaaS services that deliver a complete DevOps experience. And when combined with Microsoft Azure, these tools deliver a fantastic development stack with unparalleled developer productivity for every developer. Now, one of the great new Visual Studio improvements we're making available today is a new capability we call LiveShare. We think this is really a game changer in terms of enabling real-time collaborative development across teams. VS LiveShare enables you to not only work collaboratively on code with your coworkers, but even do shared debugging of an app across team members. It works across both Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code, and even allows developers to do live shares across Windows, Mac, and Linux dev machines simultaneously across any language and code base. And what we'd like to do now is invite Amanda Silver, who runs our Visual Studio IDE team, on stage together with Jonathan to show off a demo of Visual Studio Live Share in action. Here's Amanda and Jonathan.
All right, thanks, Scott. Let's start coding. Now, today, developer collaboration usually doesn't start until after somebody makes a commit. And that's often really too late for teams that are motivated by time to market. Uh-oh, it looks like Jonathan needs some help. I guess now is as good a time as any to help show you guys how collaborative development works on our team.
So I'm supposed to deploy the Guestbook app for the LiveShare booth in like the next hour, but photos aren't showing up anymore, and I'm kind of starting to freak out. Now, to get Amanda's help, I could start a screen sharing session, but the constant back and forth over control of the keyboard gets really tedious. And frankly, I'm a little bit tired of people saying that my editor theme looks like the aftermath of Cinco de Mayo. So let's use something new instead. Let's use Visual Studio Live Share. Now, I'm on my Mac. I'm using Visual Studio Code, and I've already installed the Live Share extension. So what I'm going to do is go down to the status bar and click this Share button. What that's going to generate for me is a link that I can give to Amanda to get her help in my context right here. So if we switch back over to Teams, you can see from our thread that Amanda's already pretty used to me bugging her for help, kind of like right now. So let's paste this link in and then see what it looks like from her machine to join my session.
All right, so all I have to do is go ahead and click on this link, and it'll automatically launch the preferred developer environment that I use, which is Visual Studio. Now notice, I'm on Windows, he's on Mac. I'm on Visual Studio, he's in VS Code. He likes techno party theme colors, and I like a little bit more classic themes. Now, as we join in Visual Studio, you'll see that it's populated by the context that's actually on Jonathan's machine. I have none of the dependencies that he has to run this source code. I didn't clone the repo. I don't have Node installed. I basically have nothing installed that he has a dependency on. And yet, I get all of the context and all of the language services here in Visual Studio. Now, as soon as it connects, you can see that I'm automatically brought to the place where his cursor is currently at, and I can see his cursor move around. I can also see him select things so that we can get a shared context really, really quickly and start working together. Even further, I can independently investigate what's going on in the folder so that I can look at other code to get my bearings a little bit. All right, Jonathan, now that I'm in, what's going on?
So the Guestbook isn't showing photos anymore, and I kind of think it's related to this code right here, but I'm not exactly sure. Any ideas what's going wrong?
Well, I have no idea looking at this, but I really can't think straight with red squiggles, so that's the first thing I have to take care of is this linting error. Now, as you guys can see, as I move around in here, I get the same experience that you would expect from Visual Studio. You can see I get that tooltip. I can go ahead and get completion lists and select const. All right, So, and as I move my cursor off, you can see that background compilation kicks in, and I have the confidence that that fix worked. But that still is not enough for me to know what's going on from a debug perspective. So I can go ahead and inspect other things here, look at a peak definition of this value, and yep, this method is definitely, I think, what's going on. So I'm just going to go and promote that to the Dockwell.
Now, as you can see, at this point, Amanda and I are actually in entirely separate files, which is cool and not something you could achieve with screen sharing. But if at any point I want to refocus with what she's doing, I can choose to follow her cursor. What's great about this is it allows us to work independently or together, depending on what the situation demands.
All right, Jonathan, I think I know what's going on, but to be really confident, I'd like to set a breakpoint on this line and debug.
All right, and as soon as Amanda sets that breakpoint, it shows up on my end as well. What's really important about that is that LiveShare is not just an editing platform. It is real-time collaborative development, which we all know development includes debugging. So because we're in the context of a LiveShare session, if I go and press this play button, it's going to launch that app, share it with Amanda, and hit the breakpoint that she just set.
All right. It's pretty cool. Now, as soon as Visual Studio detects that he's at a breakpoint, I get moved into a debug session as well. And you can see that I get all of the capabilities that I would expect in a Visual Studio debug session. I can look at the call stack. I can look at locals and expand to understand what this is. I even have a shared debug cursor. I have access to the same execution point that he has. So I can go ahead and even step over and then get hover tips to understand what the values are. And I can see that, yep, Jonathan, I think I figured out your problem. This signature is 44, and it really should be an object. So you're calling unshift on array, but it really should be shift. So I'm just going to save that, and I think that should work.
All right, now I'd really like for Amanda to be able to verify the fix that she just made before I let her off the hook. But the Guestbook app is running local on my machine, and I'm not ready to deploy it yet, and I certainly don't want to expose it over the internet. But because LiveShare provides us with a secure connection between my and Amanda's machine, I can actually share the web app that is running on localhost with her so that she could see it as if it was running on her machine.
All right, so all I have to do is go ahead to our share session up here and look at shared servers. And you can see that I get access to his local host. I can go ahead and launch that in the browser. And I can see the app straight away, even though it's localhost hosted on his machine. Looks like we fixed the issue.
All right, I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm kind of out of hot water at this point, mostly, but let's make sure that we didn't regress anything else and run our tests. Now, the Guestbook app, like many modern applications today, actually runs its tests from the command line. But Amanda's not standing right next to me to run that or view the results with me. But once again, because LiveShare provides that secure connection between the two of us, I can also share a live terminal instance with her that she will see on her end and can then run our tests and let us both view the results in real time.
So as soon as he starts that terminal, it's shared. And this isn't just a terminal that's specific to this debug session, it's actually a shared terminal access to his machine. So I could use this to inspect, developer configuration, for example, and see what version of Node is running. But in this case, I'm just going to use this to call our tests. And we both see the results at the same time. It looks like it's good.
Yeah, so we fixed the app. I think the test results speak for themselves. LiveShare is awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Awesome, we're ready to go live.
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm excited to share that Visual Studio Live Share is now available for you to start using today. So you can start downloading it. Please wait till the end of the keynote, but you're welcome to start using it. And I'm also really happy to announce that we're making it free for all Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code developers on every platform. So one of the things you probably noticed over the last few years is the change in how Microsoft approaches open source. We not only now support open source projects in a deep way, but we also have open sourced much of our own product development. You know, VS Code is just one example of the type of open source projects we help lead now. It's developed in the public on GitHub, and it's had over 17,000 developer contributions to it to make it even better. And VS Code is just one example of how we're really trying to change our development approach to be much more open and inclusive at Microsoft. You know, things like .NET Core, NuGet, PowerShell, and our Azure SDKs are other examples of where we're taking Microsoft projects and are now developing them in the open and hosting them on GitHub. And what I'd like to do is invite Jason Warner, the Senior Vice President of Technology at GitHub, on stage to talk a little about GitHub and some of the changes they're seeing as part of this engagement, as well as to talk about some exciting work that we're launching together today. So please join me in welcoming Jason.
Hey, Scott.
Well, welcome, Jason. Thanks for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about GitHub and the mission you guys have for developers?
Sure. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, GitHub's core mission is to make developers' lives better. We started this by revolutionizing code collaboration. Today, the majority of the world's code, both public and private, sits on GitHub, with 27 million developers collaborating across 80 million repositories. We view ourselves as stewards of developers, and we aim to reduce the friction in the entire software development lifecycle to get developers back to doing what they care about most, which is writing code.
That's awesome. So yeah, we very much obviously share your vision in terms of both how developers and specifically open source can really fuel innovation. And you know, that's really, as I talked about, one of the core reasons why it's become such a critical part of our engineering culture over the last few years.
I think it's amazing to see what Microsoft has done in the past few years. The industry has shifted and to realize the power of open source. And in fact, I don't think it's too bold to say that open source now powers modern software development. And Microsoft might be the best example of a corporation embracing open source. We know from statistics that we have in GitHub that Microsoft is the single largest corporate contributor to open source on GitHub, and thereby extension in the history of open source. In fact, Microsoft has the largest open source community in the entire world with Visual Studio Code.
That's pretty awesome. And I know in addition to contributing in projects and hosting them on GitHub, one of the other things that our two teams have been working on a lot has actually been on several other projects in terms of technology integration that we've done. I was wondering if you could share a little bit about those and from your perspective how it's helping developers.
Absolutely. We've been able to accomplish a lot over the past few years. Last year at Microsoft Connect, we announced our combined work on GVFS, which allowed Git to scale to the world's largest repositories across Windows and Linux. And with our shared developer focus, our areas of interest seem to overlap more and more with each passing year, and I'm excited to see us working this way out in the open.
I know our teams have been working hard on something new that we're launching today, and that GitHub's doing even more broadly across your ecosystem. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you guys are rolling out and how we're integrating?
Absolutely. Today, we're announcing the public beta of the GitHub Checks API, which will allow our partner integrators to do very deep, annotated, and rich data sets across all manners of continuous integration, including linting and code analysis. And we're excited to see what you're all going to do with that today.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Jason.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Well, as Jason just mentioned, one of the things that we're excited to announce today is some of the deeper integration that we're doing between GitHub and our overall set of Azure and Visual Studio DevOps capability. And the first scenario that we're releasing today is integrating the mobile DevOps tooling support that we provide with Visual Studio App Center directly within the GitHub experience. Now, VS App Center is something we launched late last fall, and it enables mobile developers to build, test, and distribute mobile apps to a wide variety of different devices, including both iOS and Android, to monitor the performance of those apps, as well as to collect analytics and crash dumps from them so you can quickly improve your app with each release in a nice iterative way. And we made all this easy by integrating all of the different DevOps stages into one smooth workflow. And what's great with our GitHub partnership is we've now taken that and directly integrated as well within GitHub as part of that experience. And what I'd like to do is invite Samina, who leads the PM team for VS App Center, on stage to actually show off VS App Center and the great integration we now have with GitHub. Here's Samina.
Thank you, Scott. I am so excited to show you today how with App Center and GitHub, we take developer productivity to a whole new level. From pushing code to the repository to shipping the app to the App Store in under 3 minutes. Ready? Here in GitHub is the repository for the Smart Hotel demo app. This is an iOS app written in Swift, but the same steps work for apps written in Xamarin, React Native, or Android. The dev team has been working on a new feature, and they opened the pull request. And here in the pull request, GitHub automatically detects that no continuous integration has been set up and takes me to the GitHub Marketplace for available GitHub apps. I am looking for a mobile CI solution, and App Center is right here. To start building my repository in App Center, I need to install the GitHub app. App Center has a really great free tier, so I will go ahead and install it. I am now completing my free purchase. And finally, I am giving App Center access to my repositories. Now I am in App Center. And when I select the Smart Hotel repository, everything gets automatically detected. No need to enter anything manually, so I can simply continue. App Center does the magic and detects all the build settings. So now we are ready to kick off a build. Behind the scenes, Azure provisions a virtual machine with the latest tools, pulls the repository, starts a build, and when the build is completed, securely deletes the VM. With Azure, you can get from your repository to setting up continuous integration in under 3 minutes. And back to the demo app, the build is already running. Now, this build will take 1 or 2 minutes to complete. But once the build is completed, App Center will report the status back to GitHub. And here in the pull request, I can see all the checks have passed, and the build is successful. Now, before merging the pull request and distributing the app to my users, I want to run a suite of automated UI tests and to make sure that no regressions were introduced. App Center offers thousands of devices with different operating systems and languages, all hosted in Azure. And here we can see how the test cases look for the iOS version run on real iPhones. But remember, App Center also supports apps written in Xamarin, React Native, and Java. So I ran the test for the Android version of the Smart Hotel app on over 100 Android devices. And all you see here are real physical devices hosted in the Azure cloud. Now, if we look closer, some of the tests are failing. And looks like on this device, the app did not transition to the home screen. So later, the team can troubleshoot the issues, look at the test logs, and fix the issues. We have now seen how the app is continuously building on every change. UI tests are validating the user flows. So now we are ready to publish the app to the App Store to our end users. In the past, we might have done this manually over and over again. But now we can use the same continuous delivery process and do it automatically with App Center and GitHub. So I will configure the master branch that for every successful build, it will automatically distribute it to the App Store. All I have to do is enable distribution to production right here. And with this, every new pull request merged to the master branch will trigger a new build in App Center. UI tests will be running, and once everything looks green, the new release will be uploaded to the App Store. Continuous delivery for your mobile apps has never been easier. Together, App Center and GitHub make app developers more productive. Get started today. We know you are going to love it. Thank you.
So So VS App Center is just one of the DevOps tooling components that we provide as part of the Visual Studio family and Azure set of DevOps tooling. With our Visual Studio Team Services family of tools, we're making it easier to adopt a DevOps-based model and set your team up for success, regardless of the application type that you're working on. VSTS is fully integrated into Azure and includes everything that you need and works with every language and runtime environment that you already use. And what I'd like to do now is invite Donovan Brown, who leads our DevOps advocate team on stage to show how easy it is to get started using DevOps in Azure, using Visual Studio Team Services. Here's Donovan.
Thanks, Scott. Good morning, everyone. Let's try that again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Perfect. You know what time it is. It's time to rub a little DevOps on it and make it better. When we combine the power of Visual Studio Team Services in Azure, magic happens. We get to witness this magic every day as Visual Studio Team Services deploys itself into Azure. This gives our teams a unique perspective on how to apply DevOps best practices when deploying into the cloud. Let me show you how they do it. This is an actual dashboard of one of the teams that bring you VSTS every single day. It's customized to show how many days are left in the sprint and what work is currently assigned to them. We can also view this work on a Kanban board. This is a real-time status report. To update your status, you simply drag and drop. But this happens to be where our team actually works, so I probably shouldn't be moving any of these tiles around. Our team uses Git. And when you use Git, sometimes the branches get out of control. You don't even remember why you created some of those branches, but not when you use our Kanban board. Here, you're able to create a branch right from the board, and this branch is now associated to this work. Every single pull request, every single commit, every single build, and every single release is automatically associated to this work. So now you know exactly why you created the item, and you get end-to-end traceability for free. Once we get our pull request made, it's time for us to go ahead and collaborate over it. In a pull request, this is a way for you to review your code and have conversations with your teams to make sure that the code is quality. If you see that piece of code that gives you that warm and fuzzy feeling, you can actually share it with your teams right here in your pull request. Our pull request can also run policies, and one of the policies that we run is a build. Our builds run a staggering 77,000 unit test against every pull request, and we do this 600 times a day to ensure that we only ship the highest quality code to our customers. When our pull request is done, the code is now ready to be deployed into production. Here, we practice safe deployment. Safe deployment is where we deploy to one production environment, monitor the code before we deploy to the next production environment. This first environment, Ring 0, is where the VSTS team actually works. We dog food everything that we give to our customers, because if it's not good enough for us, it's definitely not good enough for you. We monitor our telemetry and application insights. We run queries against our bugs, and if we find any, we stop our release. This used to be a manual process, but now I can use release gates. Release gates allow me to have release management automatically run queries against my bugs, automatically watch my telemetry and application insights. And if it finds any issues, release management will automatically stop our release and protect our customers. We have automated safe deployment. Now, I know what you're dying to ask me right now. Donovan, how do we get started? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Because you get started in the Azure portal. We have a new feature called DevOps Projects that allow us to bring the power of Visual Studio Team Services right inside of the Azure portal. You get started like you would any other resource. You go to Create, and there is DevOps Projects. Gone are the days of you having to manually deploy code or FTP. You don't even have to right-click inside of your IDE. And as Damian Brady likes to say, friends don't let friends right-click publish. And now they never have to. And if you look at this page here, you instantly see that this is not your daddy's Microsoft. This is a Microsoft that understands Go and Ruby, PHP and Python. Let's have some fun and let's do a Java application. I get to choose my favorite framework, which happens to be Spring. Now this is where the fun begins. I want to reassure you, if you're not ready for containers, don't let anyone pressure you into them. We can run your app the way that it is today inside of App Service. But if you are ready for containers, so are we. we're able to stand up an entire Kubernetes cluster for you and run your app inside of there. Let's have some fun with Kubernetes. At this point, you have to wire up your VSTS account. I see some of you getting anxious, thinking, but Donovan, we don't have a VSTS account. Shh, shh. We can create one for you right here on the portal. But if you happen to have your own, let's go ahead and choose one that I already have for myself. So we'll choose this one. I need to give the product a name, and now I click on Done. Now I just sit back and relax while Visual Studio and Team Services work together to build us an entire CI/CD pipeline for our Java application. When this is done, I'm going to have a portal just like this one. This is a blade that shows me everything from Visual Studio Team Services and Azure in one place. I can see my commits to my repository, the builds, and the releases. I can see my cluster and even infrastructure information coming from Application Insights down here at the bottom. If I click on this link, I get to see the sample application running in my cluster right now. Chances are you have your own code. So why don't we go ahead and show you how you can actually use your own code as well. Luckily, I can use the deep links here on our build pipeline. Jump right inside of Visual Studio Team Services, where I have complete control over this pipeline. I can simply come in here and say, why don't we edit our build definition? Let's get your code from where it exists today. Maybe your code lives inside of GitHub. So I come over here, and then I authorize my account. And then once I do, I have access to all my GitHub repos right here inside of Visual Studio Team Services. I'm going to choose my Smart Hotel 360, click on Select, and now I'm going to save and queue this build. I am now pulling code upon every commit from GitHub, building this Java application and packaging it as an image. I'm then going to take that image and deploy it all the way inside of Kubernetes. I hope you realize that this is not just a new era for Microsoft. This is a new era for all of us. Because when we combine the power of Visual Studio Team Services and Azure, here at Microsoft, we can implement DevOps for any language targeting any platform. Thank you so much, everyone.
So as Donovan just showed us in that demo, it's now easier than ever to set up a DevOps model using Azure. Using the new DevOps project support, you can set up CI/CD with a full application monitoring set up for .NET, for Java, for Node, for Python, and PHP with literally just a few clicks, or you can drive it in an automated way from the command line. And with today's updates, you can now easily do that both for web-based applications as well as container-based Kubernetes clusters using our new Azure Kubernetes service, or AKS as we call it for short. It supports Git-based source control repositories in both Visual Studio Team Services as well as GitHub, and you can get started with it now for free. So now that we've covered some of the developer tooling improvements that we're shipping this week, let's now jump into discussing some of the Azure platform improvements that we're delivering as well. One of the things that makes Azure really powerful is the coherent set of highly engineered services that enable you to build, deploy, and scale your applications even faster. For example, our Azure Web App service provides an incredibly optimized way to run web applications as well as expose web APIs. Our Azure Serverless Functions service makes it incredibly easy to host serverless apps and code that can scale from just handling, say, 1 request per second up to literally millions of requests per second simultaneously. And with both our Azure Kubernetes service and Service Fabric offerings, we enable you to build modern container-based microservice applications. Let's talk a little bit about the new AKS service I mentioned. So our new AKS, or Azure Kubernetes service, provides a fully managed Kubernetes-based orchestration service. It provides built-in auto-patching, auto-scaling, and update support, which enables you to take the full breadth of the Kubernetes ecosystem when you're doing your development. And we're releasing a bunch of great updates with it this week at Build. One of the capabilities we're really excited to share is a new feature we call Dev Spaces. Dev Spaces enables a fast inner-loop development experience when building Kubernetes-based microservice applications. It enables you to edit and deploy code instantaneously, as well as debug and set breakpoints across multiple containers running in a microservice-based environment. And it's designed to work both great for individual developers, but where it really shines is when you have a team of developers working together and you want to share a common team-based development environment and be able to test and iterate independently as appropriate. What I'd like to do is invite Scott Hanselman on stage to show off some of the new improvements we're shipping this week with Azure Kubernetes Service, as well as demonstrate how you'll be able to take advantage of Dev Spaces to get a super smooth inner-loop development experience with Kubernetes on Azure. Here's Scott.
Hey, friends. So we saw Donovan take a Java app through Azure DevOps projects, and he went and deployed that to AKS. Fast forward 30 days later, and the project is a lot bigger, the company's a lot bigger, and let's say that I'm a new developer. So I need to get up to speed on how to work on this as quickly as possible. This is the site that I'm working on, and I'm going to come down here because I was told that there was a bug. When people go and search for hotels, I can type in New York and I find my New York, but when they type in Seattle, it doesn't work. So something is wrong. However, this application has a lot going on. I'm going to switch over to Visual Studio. That's where I live as a Visual Studio developer. And this is where I feel most comfortable, and I see that there's 8 different projects here. There's 8 different projects here, and there's maybe dozens and dozens elsewhere. And I'm told by Brady, who set up the AKS environment, that each one of these projects within Visual Studio maps directly to a microservice that's running in a container inside of AKS. So if I switch over into Azure, I can see all the different containers, not just the ones that are in Visual Studio, but the ones that other teams are working on that might be running in different languages in different environments. I can see there's my hotel service. This is all running as part of Azure Kubernetes Service, which is pretty amazing because it is a fully managed service. I don't have any VMs to worry about. I didn't create a bunch of VMs and then install Kubernetes on them. I just have Kubernetes as a service. I can go and upgrade at any time. I can hit scale, and I can go and say I want 8 CPUs or I want hundreds of CPUs. It's totally up to me. Now, within this cluster, I can also peer into the health of individual containers. You can see, so that's green, that's good. OK is good. I'm going to open that up. Here's all these containers, and I can scope my namespace. Mainline is where I'm told that the bug is, and all the services can be picked from. I'm going to pick hotels, because that's the one that I am currently working on. If I click on hotels, and then open that up, I see some interesting stuff that the CPU is about 4 or 5%. There's my hotels container that I want to debug because I think that's where the problem is. And I'm going to hit View Logs. Now when I click into View Logs, I didn't have to install anything. This all comes as part of this service. I've got this rich logging experience right off the bat. And Brady gave me some queries to try out so I could learn this as a new developer. And I've put a couple of those into the clipboard. So here, I can go and do a search and say run. And now I'm looking at aggregate CPU over all of the containers instantly. You see it was about 4 or 5%. So obviously my problem is not a CPU related problem, but I'm here to fix a bug, and I want to see if I can use the analytics to do that because, again, there's dozens of containers. So I've got a query here where I'm going to look for places that returned 0 results, because when I typed in Seattle, I got back 0 results. And then I know that it's written in C# because that's my language and that's the thing I'm working on. So I'm going to look for places where it contained the word controller. So hopefully we'll see if we can narrow down where this bug might have happened. And I can zoom in here and see the places where the bug has happened in the public web. And I can even change this and see how often that bug happens and then render it as a chart. Again, all of this built into the service and lets me do some amazing stuff. So I can see that clearly Brady checked into production at 5 and then just went home. So that's when the bugs started. So he won't be working here much longer, which is good for me as a new developer because I'm moving up in the company. So I know that it's in the cities controller because I saw that in my logs. I'm going to switch over into Visual Studio. Now within Visual Studio, I could go looking for it and hunting around in here, but I'm just going to hit Control-T because this is my steez, this is where I live. I know how to move around inside of Visual Studio. So I'm just going to hit Control-T and go to Cities Controller and see the microservice that pulls that data back. Here's my get default cities. I'm going to right click on, say, go to definition. These are the default cities that are hard-coded. And then up here, the actual microservice, get, that goes and talks to the back end. Now, we have 10 microservices here I can see in Visual Studio, but just so you can get a real sense, there's dozens elsewhere, and some of them are in different languages, but some of them are actual Azure services like Cosmos DB or Postgres or SQL. There's a lot going on to make this happen. So I go back over to Cities Controller and I say, all right, we're looking for default cities. Or, okay, and there's the bug. They didn't call get, they call get default cities, so that's a problem. They've actually only looking at the hard-coded cities. I'm going to change city queries to say get, pass in name, and go like this. Now I'm going to set a breakpoint, and you'll notice that this is all just the stuff that I ordinarily do as a Visual Studio developer, right? Nothing interesting going on here. However, if I were to hit F5 ordinarily, I might need to start up all of this stuff. Think about the amount of work it takes when someone says, hey, welcome to the company, here's a laptop, let's get this set up with a tiny production environment on your underpowered laptop, and then next week, we'll make you more productive. That's a complicated experience. I don't want to have that experience. Instead, I'm going to use Azure Dev Spaces, and I'm going to run this stuff up in AKS. I have my own personal space up there. Now, I think it's my own personal space because there's at least 5 Scotts that work at the company and a number of women with the last name Scott. So there could be 7 potential Scotts that are going on here. But I think this is my space. Did my microphone leave? Hi, friend. Hi. Test, test. Hey. How y'all doing? It's all good. I'm not really sure how that's planning on working. So,
let me add some value.
I'm Scott, I'm new here.
Okay, good.
So I've got my own space here within Azure Dev Spaces, and this is really significant. I want to point this out. Notice how hotels is boldface. That's the microservice that I want to debug. That's not the website. It's a microservice as part of the website that then talks to other microservices, like the profile, like the backend database. When I hit F5 and go and debug this, it's going to do a lot for me. I want to point out that I don't have Kubernetes installed. I don't have any virtual machines here. This is not running here. It's running in Azure Dev Spaces. And this is my own private space. I'm just running that one hotels. Now, we've seen demos before when you hit F5 and then a miracle happens, but I really want you to feel this in your chest. We are not hitting F5 on the website. I just want to debug that one microservice. I'm going to compile all of this into containers, put it into Azure Container Registry, drop it into Kubernetes, and then when we hit the URL, we'll take a look at the URL, and you notice that it says Scott. That's my space, but I'm not affecting anyone else in my team because I want to make sure that I get an environment that feels like production but isn't. I type in Seattle, and now we're going to hit a breakpoint, and I can hover over it, and I get the great experience in Visual Studio as if I were local, but I have my own private space with dozens of microservices all working together, and I just pressed F5. So what did we see? We have a fully managed Kubernetes. We've got auto patching, scaling. We've got upgrades. We've got an integrated container health. I searched terabytes of logs instantaneously. I've got the ability to rapidly debug and fix apps in a complicated environment like this with just Visual Studio and my Azure subscription. And thanks to AKS and Azure Dev Spaces, Azure has the best Kubernetes experience in the cloud. Thank you.
Scott and I have been joking for years that we got to do some kind of pair demo in a keynote, and I guess we just finally did it, so that's awesome. So, as you look to modernize your applications and adopt a microservice-based architecture, one of the things you're also going to want to take advantage of is serverless-based computing. A serverless-based approach allows you to execute code in an event-driven way, which can help guide you to build applications that can scale better. But serverless computing can also help you save money by enabling you to avoid having to pay for server resources that you might not be fully using. And Azure enables you to really build a serverless-based solution that can respond to literally millions of events per second. Our Azure Function service enables you to execute on-demand serverless code written in a wide variety of different languages, including C#, JavaScript, Python, and Java. And our Azure Logic App service enables you to execute on-demand serverless workflows. These workflows can use more than 100 built-in data and app connectors that we provide out of the box, enabling you to integrate your workflows with data and actions that are in Office 365 or Dynamics 365, Salesforce, SAP, Adobe, Twitter, and more. And securely process and route data across long-running processes. These workflows can also then invoke Azure Function Apps, giving you a really robust way that you can integrate both code as well as declarative workflows together. Now, one of the new capabilities of Azure that you heard us talk a lot more about this week at Build is our Azure Event Grid service. Event Grid provides a routing service that makes it easy to route events from a wide variety of different event sources and connect them to event handlers to process them. Event Grid guarantees reliable event delivery and will automatically queue, for example, messages for later delivery if your event listener is not available. And it can scale to support millions of events per second. And enables you to build really robust event-driven architectures that enable you to eliminate polling and the associated costs of latency within your applications. And it runs both in the cloud with Azure, but you can also, it's included as part of our Azure IoT Edge as well as Azure Stack offerings. Now you can set up event grid routes programmatically using code. One of the cool things we're also doing starting this week is making it incredibly easy to set up events using the Azure portal as well. You know, for example, this is a screenshot of a storage account in the Azure portal, so our standard Azure Blob storage service. And you'll notice now that we expose an events link on Azure resources directly inside the portal. And if you don't have any events registered when you click that link, we actually provide sort of some nice helpful UI that enables you to easily create and run serverless functions or logic apps that'll execute when a particular event occurs. You know, for example, here is a sample tutorial that's built in now. We make it super easy to create and wire up a serverless logic app workflow that can execute, for example, every time a video file is uploaded into my Azure storage account. Here's what the logic app workflow looks like. You can see you kind of compose this workflow graphically using our designer. And notice how the built-in workflow is taking the uploaded file and then in turn calling an Azure Cognitive Service that we call our Video Indexer service that'll automatically transcribe the speech in the video into a text file into that storage account. And the great thing is I didn't have to write any code. I didn't have to spin up any VMs or other services. Instead, it all executed serverlessly using my declarative logic app workflow. And this is just one of literally hundreds of new event grid and serverless scenarios that we're making super easy to accomplish this week. And all of our Azure services will expose events that can be managed using Event Grid with this type of serverless composition model. Now, where this container and event-driven serverless technology becomes incredibly powerful is when handling new types of massive scale solutions like IoT. You know, IoT is now experiencing just exponential market growth. You know, 2 years from now, there'll be more than 20 billion connected devices in the world. And that's approximately 3 times the number of human beings on the planet. And the need for developers who can build IoT-based solutions is rapidly growing. We already have thousands of Azure IoT certified hardware devices in the market today, supported by hundreds of different partners. And what's great is that means as a developer, you can easily build Azure IoT-based solutions and take this hardware, take these solutions, and easily integrate them with our Azure IoT cloud services. And let's take a look at how we could do this. So our Azure IoT Hub service enables you to securely connect and manage up to billions of IoT devices. It was the thing that was on that back end when Sam was showing the drone, for example, in Satya's keynote this morning. And what's great about Azure IoT Hub is it can work with any IoT device out there and includes built-in security management capabilities. So for example, you can tell it to patch the device automatically, as well as device twin support, so that you can actually query and update the configuration of any device, even when the device is offline. And when it comes back online, it'll automatically update. And as a developer, it provides a great event-driven serverless programming model built on Azure Functions that enables you to both ingest telemetry from any device, as well as interact and program it from the cloud. Since I bet many of you here have never built an IoT app before, you're probably wondering, well, okay, that sounds good, how easy is it to do? What I'd like to do is invite Jeff Hollins on stage to show off, literally from scratch, how easy it is to build using Azure IoT Hub and our Azure Serverless Functions programming model. So here's Jeff.
Thank you all very much, and thank you, Scott. All right, so I want to show you just how easy it is for every single developer to get started building applications across IoT and the cloud. And to do that, Scott has given me a challenge to build an IoT application from scratch, live in front of all of you now, in less than 5 minutes. And the application that I want to build is going to center around this IoT button. Now, this is a very simple IoT device created by one of our partners. And how it works is that whenever somebody presses this button, it automatically wakes up, connects to Wi-Fi, and sends some data up into the cloud. Now, the application that I have to build centers around Twitter. So I'm showing here a Twitter account, hashtag Azure IoT Demo if you want to follow along. And what I need to build is an application so that if you're at the conference and you see this button, or buttons just like it, and you see something awesome, that you can press this button and let the world know through a tweet that something awesome is happening and where they can go to check it out. All right, so with that, let's start the clock and see what we can do. All right, the first part of this application is how these devices securely connect to the cloud. And for that, I'm in my Azure portal, and I can create a brand new IoT Hub. IoT Hub is an all-in-one service in Azure that allows me to connect, configure, manage, and monitor all of my IoT devices at massive scale. Now, I already have an IoT Hub in my subscription, so let's open it up here and see what it's doing. You'll notice that there's actually a number of devices already connected to this hub, and it's even been sending some data throughout the day today. And I can come in here and drill into the devices that I've paired with this IoT Hub. And I want to point out right here at the top of this list, this is my IoT button in my hand. Now, we need some code to run whenever these buttons are pressed. So to do that, I'm going to come here into Visual Studio and create a brand new Azure Functions project. This will enable me to have serverless code run on demand to all of these IoT events. And serverless and IoT pair great together because as I continue to add more devices and data, my application automatically scales. So in this new project, let's go ahead and add a new function. You'll notice there's actually a number of triggers that I can use to start this code, but I'm just going to use this IoT Hub trigger right here. And let's associate it with my IoT Hub in my subscription. Now here's where I can write whatever code I want to run in response to events. And to prove this out, let's just change this line of code and have it say button pressed. And we'll click Save here and click Run. Now I'm going ahead now, and what's powerful with Azure Serverless is that I can actually run Azure Functions locally on my machine and debug it. In fact, I've gone ahead now and just pressed this button, and you'll notice that my function on my PC was able to securely connect to IoT Hub, see that trigger, and run my code. In fact, just to prove it again, I'll press this button again, and you'll notice here we got another log message. So I can very easily debug and make sure my code is working before I deploy it. Now there's two pieces of information that I care about for my application to work. And the first is the location of the device. And that's because I want to include that location in the tweet of where something awesome is happening. And the second thing that I want to know is the type of message that's being sent. As you notice, my IoT Hub is actually filled with a bunch of devices sending lots of data. And before I go and send a tweet, I actually want to make sure that the type is in fact equal to a button pressed. All right, we've written about 6 lines of code here. This is where I know I need to post a tweet. But I've only got about 2 minutes left. There is no way that I can look up the Twitter API and figure out how the crap to grab an OAuth 1 token in that amount of time. So instead, what I'm going to do is leverage another piece of Azure Serverless, which is Logic Apps. So I'm back here in the Azure portal, and here I can create serverless workflows. Now I'm going to add an action here, and what's powerful is that not only can I add other Azure functions that I've written, but there's over 200 connectors here out of the box to enable me to integrate with services like Cosmos DB, Cognitive Services, GitHub, Google Docs, the Microsoft Graph, even on-premises SAP. Now this is incredible for me as a developer because this is all function code that I don't have to write. So that if I want my application to do something like post a tweet to Twitter, I just select the Twitter connector, say I want to post a tweet. I've got some text here ready to go. Let's paste this in. And we'll even pass in the location of that device. All right, so that's all we need for the workflow. The last thing I need to do here is wire it up to my Azure function. So let's grab this URL here and write one last line of code. And if you think it's hard to write code when someone's looking over your shoulder, imagine doing it in front of thousands of people. That's OK. Make sure to make this awaitable. I'm going to add this. Click Save, Run, Time. All right, we've got time to spare. Let's test this out now. I'm back here at Twitter. I'm going to go ahead now and press this button. That Azure function has kicked off and triggered. It sent the location data to that Twitter connector, And when I click refresh here, you will see here now is a tweet sent to the world, letting them know that something awesome just happened here at Build. Thank you so much. Now, what's great here is this even includes a sample on GitHub so that if you go check out this tweet, you can build the same solution in a few minutes later today. And I was able to build this entire application that could now scale to thousands of IoT applications in less than 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
One of the things that Jeff mentioned, if you go to our booth, we're actually giving out thousands of these internet-connected buttons. And so it's super easy to build this exact same app yourself, and you can become an IoT developer. So, Jeff showed you how easy it is to connect, a simple Wi-Fi connected button to Azure, and how easy it was to basically write code in the cloud that interacted with it. And this is great for many, many different scenarios where you really only need to run the logic in the cloud. But as Satya talked about this morning, the trend that we're seeing is where we're also increasingly moving to one where you also want to be able to run logic on the edge as well and interact both with the device and the environment in even richer ways and be able to do it locally while still retaining cloud connection. Azure IoT Edge runs on both Windows and Linux devices and provides a really easy way to build and deliver application functionality on the edge. It supports a container-based programming model that you can use to both develop and deploy apps on the edge, and supports running serverless-based Azure functions directly on the device. In fact, we've taken the Azure Functions programming model, and it's just part of Azure IoT Edge, as well as Event Grid. And this enables you to use the same container and serverless skills and technologies that we just talked about running in the cloud to be able to run on the edge device as well. And you can basically deploy and run both code as well as your own AI models using our Azure Cognitive Services, or by building and training your own model, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, on the edge as well, and run it in the context of an Azure IoT Edge device. And this gives you both an incredibly powerful and a very elegant way to build IoT solutions. What I'd like to do now is hand it back over to Jeff to show off how you can take this first IoT scenario that we just demoed and now extend it to build and deploy custom code and AI models using Azure IoT Edge.
Thanks, Scott. All right, so let's extend that application we just started. And what if instead of requiring somebody to press a button when they see something awesome, what if the device itself actually knew that there were awesome things around it and automatically sent a tweet? Now, to do that, I want to talk about Azure IoT Edge. So I'm back here in my Azure portal, and this is my IoT hub. This is the same hub we were just using for my button. But I want to call out here that there's a section here for my IoT Edge devices. Now, these are devices that actually run pieces of the Azure cloud directly on the device itself. And these aren't fancy devices that you have to special order. These are devices that you're likely already using today. In fact, two that I want to call out here is my Windows PC that I'm developing on right here, and this Raspberry Pi that's next to me, which is actually running Linux. Now, both of these are edge devices, and both of them have cameras. So I want to leverage those cameras to be observing the environment and figuring out if there's awesome things around. So let's check out the solution and what it looks like. Now, this inside of Visual Studio Code is my IoT Edge solution that I can completely build and manage here. A few things I want to call out. This same solution and same code is running both on my Windows PC and on this Raspberry Pi running Linux, and it's made up entirely of containers. Now, this is great because it means as I'm building these, I get the benefits that containers bring, like portability and consistency, regardless of the form factor that it's running on. Now, this solution is just 3 simple parts. The first one is this startup container. I'm just going to start it up on the device, grab the camera feed, and push that feed to a machine learning model. Now, the second piece here, this is that machine learning model that needs to identify, are there awesome things around or not? But what's exciting here is just how easy it was for me to build this. In fact, to build this model, I leveraged the Azure Custom Vision service. This is one of the cognitive services that enables developers to upload samples of images with tags. And after you train the model, you can actually upload new images that it has never seen before, and it will be able to predict for you what this image should be classified like. So let me show you the project that I've built for this demo. You might be able to see here from the text. Here's my custom vision portal, and I want to build my own Scott or Not app, because chances are if Scott is somewhere at Build, there's something awesome happening. So here's the sample images I've uploaded. It's a wall of awesomeness. Some of these images are tagged with Scott, and some of them are tagged not. And I can go ahead and tag these and then click this train button right up here. If but I don't want to have to be sending the feed from all of my devices constantly up into the cloud to identify if it's Scott or not. And what's great here is that after training the model, I can actually click this export button and export this model to run on any device, even locally on the IoT edge. So I've gone ahead now, I've trained this model. Let's choose that we do want to run this as a Docker container. Say I want this to be Linux, click download, save, done. This is the exact container that I have now imported into this solution, running now on these devices, looking at that camera feed and identifying, is this Scott or not? Now that's generating a lot of data, and in order to deal with that data, I have my third piece, which is an Azure function, running on a container on the device. Now I actually want to show you that Azure function code because it should look familiar. This is the code here, and this is the exact same code that I wrote for my button a few minutes ago. The only difference is that this is running on the device locally, and you'll notice instead of looking if it's a button press or not, I'm actually detecting if it's Scott or not. Now I built this whole application, I've deployed it, and works on my Windows PC. So now let's talk about this Raspberry Pi that I also want to run it on. So if you're not familiar, this is a Raspberry Pi right here. It's a computer the size of a credit card. It has an ARM processor, it only has 1 gig of memory. It can run Windows IoT Core, but for right now, I'm actually running Linux on it. Now, I want to pull in all of that power of the Azure cloud and run it on this simple device right here. So let's test it out now. I want you to pay attention to these lights up here, because this is going to show us what the device is thinking. So here's the camera feed. I'm going to go ahead here and give a nice smile for the camera. And you'll notice that right away, this device has rejected me with a red X, letting me know that I am not, in fact, awesome, or Scott. Getting flashbacks of high school. So we'll go ahead now, and Scott, if you'll join us, let's see if we can get something awesome to happen. If you'll go ahead and give a nice smile to the camera. And you'll notice that right away, this device has seen something awesome is happening. Thank you. It's actually posted another tweet with Scott's picture. Hopefully it was a flattering shot that it took of you, which also includes a link to this code. Now that's fantastic, and just an example how, as a developer, I can use these powerful tools to build applications at massive scale on the Azure cloud. But when I need to, I can actually pull pieces of that cloud down and run with that power on a device as simple as this Raspberry Pi. Thank you so much.
Right. Thanks, Jeff. So everything you've seen in all of these IoT demos is now available for you to use starting today. And you can build incredibly powerful IoT solutions using Azure and really take advantage of this intelligent cloud, intelligent edge world. Now, one of the most important decisions you'll make as you start to build large-scale cloud applications, whether it's for IoT or for any other scenario, is how to store and represent your data. So let's spend some time talking about how you can do that with Azure and some of the cool new things coming out this week. You know, Azure now provides an incredibly flexible choice of operational data services. In our Azure SQL database, Postgres, MySQL, Redis, and Cosmos DB services are databases that we provide as a service, which means we provide them as a database service with an SLA, and it's a fully automated managed service. This means you don't have to manually configure your databases for high availability or have to manually patch or update them. These are capabilities built into the services that we provide for you. We similarly provide built-in backup as well as point-in-time restore capabilities. The ability to easily scale up and scale down capacity at will very quickly. And a whole bunch more capabilities that are all just built-in features that you can leverage. This enables you to be much more productive and build applications faster while still preserving the flexibility of your favorite database of choice. At last year's Build conference, we released Azure Cosmos DB, which is the world's first globally distributed multi-model NoSQL database service that delivers horizontal scale-out with guaranteed single-digit millisecond latency. We've seen incredible adoption of Cosmos DB over the last year, and it is today one of our fastest growing services across all of Azure. And the reason for this incredible adoption is because it really enables you to build amazing cloud solutions. With Cosmos DB, you have a horizontally scalable database that puts data everywhere your users are. Cosmos DB enables you to automatically replicate data across all Azure regions around the world, giving your users lightning-fast performance regardless of wherever they're accessing your application. Cosmos DB allows you to scale your storage and performance throughput across one or multiple Azure regions with zero application downtime. You can start with just, say, gigabytes of data and then scale up to manage petabytes of it. You can start by processing just say 100 operations per second, but then scale to tens of millions of operations per second around the world. And best of all, with Cosmos DB, you pay only for the storage and performance throughput that you provision. And Cosmos DB is unique in that it allows you to program against it using a variety of different APIs and data models. We support MongoDB, Gremlin Graph, Table, SQL APIs, Spark APIs, as well as Cassandra APIs. And this gives you maximum programming model flexibility and enables you to easily reuse code and libraries that you already have. This week at Build, we're announcing a bunch of great new improvements to Cosmos DB. These include new pricing options that help developers achieve, in some cases, up to 10x cost savings over their solutions. And it also includes an incredibly powerful new capability, which is multi-master write support. Cosmos DB now supports unlimited read and write scalability by virtue of a highly decentralized masterless replication protocol support. This guarantees single-digit millisecond reads and now writes response time at the 99th percentile anywhere in the world, which is something no other database in the world delivers today. And with its unique adaptive entropy protocol, Cosmos DB significantly reduces write conflicts, which makes it much easier to build multi-master write scenarios and applications. In the event of a write-write conflict, Cosmos DB supports both a well-defined policy-based programming model that's built into the transaction system, as well as the ability for developers to add their own custom logic conflict. These are incredible innovations that really enable you to build truly planet-scale applications. And what I'd like to do now is invite Rima, who's one of the core architects of Cosmos DB, on stage to show off an example of how easy it is to use this multi-master write support to build amazing cloud solutions. Here's Rima.
Thank you, Scott. Good morning, everyone. It's really, really exciting to be at Build here this year. Now, imagine you want to build a planet-scale intelligent app serving millions of users all around the world. In this demo, I'll show you how easy it is to take any app and scale it globally using multi-master capability in Azure Cosmos DB. Now, to show you the benefits of multi-master for global scale apps, we have built a multi-user interactive canvas with millions of pixels inspired by the Reddit Place experiment. This app is running across all Azure regions with the data stored inside Cosmos DB and replicated across all Azure regions as well. The app needs to deliver instant writes and instant reads to millions of users worldwide. In this demo, I'll show you two canvases, one pointing to replica in West US, and another one is pointing to replica in Japan West. Users in those regions can draw and view each other's drawings in near real time all over the world. Now let's see this in action. So I will go to the canvas in West US and pick a color. And while I'm drawing, Ben is going to be drawing in Japan West. And I can say Cosmos DB, and as you can see, we can see each other's drawings in near real time. I can even draw maybe a tic-tac-toe game and play it with Ben. So every single update from every single user gets written to the nearest region and becomes available all around the world in near real time. This canvas is stored inside Cosmos DB. So let's take a look at how this data gets stored inside Cosmos DB. I can come to the portal, click on the Data Explorer, and view this data, all of the pixels, the locations of the pixels, and the colors that get chosen by the users. Now, we're very excited that right after this keynote, we're going to open up this application to all of the users worldwide, so all of you could participate in this globally distributed drawing experiment powered by the multi-master capabilities in Azure Cosmos DB. Now remember, this is not just a regular app. This is a globally distributed application. Building such apps is really, really challenging. Azure Cosmos DB, as a natively built in the cloud service, was carefully engineered with multi-tenancy and global distribution from the ground up. With its turnkey global distribution capability, I can come to the world map, I can pick the regions where I want my data to be, click the Save button, and that's it. The data gets seamlessly replicated and becomes available for querying locally in those regions. And as I'm adding and removing those regions, my application does not need to be paused or redeployed. It continues to be highly available, thanks to the multi-homing capability that Cosmos DB provides. Now, the key thing that I want you all to remember is that independent of the data scale, whether you're working with a petabyte or hundreds of petabytes of data, independent of the data model or the data distribution, or potential failures that may occur when you're running at such a massive scale, Cosmos DB continues to provide you with a single system image for all of these globally distributed resources. This is something that no other database in the world can offer you today. Now, the multi-master, and not just any multi-master, but a multi-master at true global scale. With its natively built-in multi-master capabilities in Cosmos DB, application developers get numerous benefits. Number one is you get unlimited and elastic write scalability all around the world. You can perform trillions of writes and reads every single second on a single globally distributed Cosmos database, whether it happens to be a graph or a table or a collection of documents. With the natively built-in multi-master support, you get 5 nines write availability all around the world, in addition to the 5 nines read availability, backed up by the industry-leading SLAs. With the natively built-in multi-master capability, you get a single-digit millisecond write latency guarantee at the 99th percentile all around the world. Now, databases that offer masterless replication can give you low latency writes, and they can give you high write availability, typically trading it off for consistency. What is truly unique about Cosmos DB multi-master replication is that it composes incredibly well with the multiple well-defined consistency models that the service offers you. So developers can make precise, intuitive, and well-defined trade-offs with respect to latency, consistency, high availability in Cosmos DB. With databases that support multi-master replication for active-active workloads, write-write conflicts are rampant. What that typically means, multiple users could be drawing to exactly the same pixel at the same time. This forces developers to add that logic to their application and participate in the multi-master replication protocol. In Cosmos DB, we wanted to remove all of that burden away from the developers. So Cosmos DB, in addition to its anti-entropy protocol that tries to reduce the number of record-level write-write conflicts down to the minimum. But in the case when the conflict occurs, developers can pick among multiple, flexible conflict resolution policies. Cosmos DB supports automatic policy with the native CRDT support. You can also write your logic in the form of a stored procedure as a custom conflict resolution policy, or use last write wins. Now, in conclusion, with its highly decentralized multi-master protocol, multiple well-defined consistency model, and the capability where the developers can add and remove any number of regions in a scale-independent manner, Cosmos DB becomes a ubiquitous choice for the modern application development in the intelligent cloud, intelligent edge era. Every single app that you're building could transform the world that we're living in. And if your app happens to need a database, we sure hope it's going to be Cosmos DB. We're very excited to see what you're going to build with Cosmos DB. Thank you so much. Back to you, Scott.
Thanks very much. So let's now drill into how you can take all of your data and use it together with AI to add true intelligence into your applications. Our goal with Azure is to enable every developer to easily add AI to their applications. With our Azure Cognitive Services, we enable you to easily call pre-built AI models that we expose through API services. As you heard from Satya this morning, we provide great AI models to do things like speech-to-text translation, image detection, object detection, video translation, language services, and more. And you can invoke all of these using either our REST APIs or by using our pre-built .NET, Java, Python, and Node SDKs. Now, in addition to calling these cognitive services programmatically, one of the cool new capabilities that we're making available today is native integration of cognitive services with our Azure Search service. Azure Search enables you to index any type of content and build rich search experiences from it. And with this new cognitive services support, you can now, for example, just automatically index images, videos, and PDFs, use AI to extract all that insight from it, things like face and object detection, sentiment analysis, and video transcription, and just expose it directly as part of your search experience. Now, we've worked with some great customers using our Azure Cognitive Services. One of those is the NBA, who are using it to deliver some really great experiences. And please join me in welcoming Garth Case from the NBA to talk a little bit about the work they're doing with us and what this experience enables. Here's Garth.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Good to see you. All right. So I'm going to start out with a question. Show of hands. How many NBA fans do we have in the room? Okay, it's a reasonable amount. So my name is Garth Case. I'm in my 20th year at the NBA. There are two questions I get asked most frequently. The very first one is, have I met Michael Jordan, Shaq, Kobe, or LeBron? I'm lucky enough to say yes to all of that. I have. The second question, though, why have I stayed so long at the NBA? The answer might seem cliche, but it truly is because of the people. Working for the NBA, I've had the opportunity to meet and learn from the best and brightest in sports. Now, for those of you that don't know, during the NBA regular season, 30 teams play 82 games. Each game generates terabytes of content. As you can imagine, this much information makes it difficult to manage and curate and get insights delivered consistently across all our internal and external channels. Now let's talk about the NBA's journey to finding a solution to our growing data problem. 18 months ago, when we first started to organize and understand our data, we started like most, thinking that we could build a data lake and that would solve all our problems. But our data lake quickly became a data swamp. And it was difficult to hear important signals in the data through all the noise. Even though we had designed the perfect analytics layer, we needed something more. We needed a learning layer. Okay. All right. Analytics layers are usually active post-ingest of data, but a learning layer could be active through all stages, from ingest all the way to archive. It would help us organize and graph our data, surface patterns that connect dots and allow us to focus on the high-value information. We would now be able to hear the signals loud and clear. This pivot in our journey meant that we were no longer building just a data lake. We were building a smart data platform. This revelation gave birth to many use cases and scenarios. Most of them related to data mining, process automation, and decision intelligence. As I searched for technologies that we could use to build our smart data platform, I saw a demo where Microsoft used an AI-driven approach to understand the recently released JFK files. They were able to run thousands of unstructured documents through their system and build a knowledge graph using a set of AI models and services. Their use of new cognitive capabilities in Azure Search, as well as leveraging custom and pre-built AI, appeared to be the perfect recipe for a cocktail that would enable us to understand our content and add the layer of learning and intelligence we needed to build our smart data platform. Now, as we built the platform, we also developed plenty of value-driven use cases and scenarios. One of these use cases in production today is the application called NBA Photo Sorter. The name is not terribly creative, I know that. But please feel free to tweet me if you have any suggestions. Before the photo sorter was created, the effort of tagging photos took a very, very long time. It was extremely manual, resource intensive, and sometimes inaccurate. Now with the help of Azure, photos and other types of content can be automatically tagged and related quickly and increased accuracy. The photo sorter has already aided us in quickly tagging VIP photos from our events. These photos are turned into printed and digital albums, which are given to VIPs as a personalized gift. But this example is just the beginning. As we get more insight from our data, I see a future where we can not only further automate our business, but use the system to connect to our channels and drive personalized, value-based engagement with our fans across the world. Together with Microsoft, we've embarked on a journey to bring AI into the world of the NBA across all types of data and content. My intent is to use AI to power the next generation of experiences for our employees, our teams, fans, everyone around the world. I have one plug before I turn it over so you can check out the photo sorter. At this very moment, we are in the semifinals of the NBA playoffs, where you can experience the excitement of watching the best athletes in the world compete for the title of NBA champion. I hope that you all will tune in and share the excitement with me. Now I'll turn it over to, I don't have her name. Paige? Is that your name?
Yep.
To do our demo. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks so much, Garth. So as we just learned from Garth, the NBA truly is a data-driven organization. And here we've ingested all of the NBA's content, so videos, images, text documents, player telemetry, into blob storage on Azure. And we've applied cognitive skills to enhance and annotate that data. So I'm from Houston, which means that the only James I care about is James Harden. But I understand a lot of folks on this coast like LeBron. So let's see what our cognitive skills can tell us about LeBron. Here, our Face API has automatically detected LeBron in this image, and it's been trained on all of the players, owners, and coaches in the NBA. So not only do we have his face, we also have lots of other additional metadata, such as emotion and age. So how does the king feel as he's about to score an epic shot in front of tens of thousands of people? Neutral. It was completely in the zone. And this guy looks like he's about to be sad in about 5 seconds. But it's not just about LeBron. How does he relate to other entities in and around the NBA? Let's take a look at the knowledge graph that Cognitive Search has automatically created for us. So this is interesting. It looks like our AI skills have detected that there's some sort of relationship between LeBron and Nike. So let's explore that a little bit further. Here, our object detection API, which has been trained on all sorts of items that you would expect to see in the NBA. So basketballs, hoops, players, shoes, and even specific brands of shoes have determined that LeBron apparently loves wearing Nikes. And so now we know a little bit more about his fashion sense. Let's try and take a look at his performance. So how is he as a defensive player? We get back a short video that our Video Indexer API has automatically annotated and transcribed, showing LeBron make a defensive play. So he's good at offense, he's good at defense. How is he as a player all up? That's usually done with something called game notes. These are PDF documents created after every single NBA game, and they contain a wealth of information. So player stats, scores, play-by-plays. And we could look through every single one of these PDFs to try to build this player top performers column here on the right. But since we've already extracted all of the text from the tables and the documents themselves, we're able to build a custom algorithm with Azure Machine Learning to extend cognitive search. So this all sounds kind of like magic, right? Like being able to apply cognitive skills to the data that you've already got in Azure. So how easy would it be to go about creating this solution for yourself? Let's dive into the portal and see. So if I wanted to create a search service, all I would need to do is go to Create Resource, Web, and then click Azure Search. Or you could just search for search, I guess. But since I've already created one, let's take a look at the NBA content search service that's powering our application. If I wanted to import data, I would connect to my data source, and I can use a variety of things. So SQL databases, SQL data warehouses, Cosmos, Azure Blob Storage. And if we take a look at our existing data source, this NBA docs content, we get pulled up the container with all of the items that we've seen before. So our videos are automatically being annotated and being transcribed. Our PDF documents are having the text extracted and the images automatically documented and described. And we can even apply cognitive skills out of the box to extract people names, locations, and languages. And as mentioned before, we can also extend this cognitive search with custom machine learning logic. Once this has all been created, we can go and look in the Search Explorer and search against all of the returned JSON. So I type in LeBron, we get back every single instance. I can even do more complex queries. So search equals LeBron and facet equals organizations, one of those things that we just clicked before, the little checkboxes. And here we get back all of the organizations that LeBron is associated with. So the Cavs, the NBA, and Nike. So these cognitive capabilities, being able to apply AI to the data that you already have stored on Azure, this capability is only available with us on Microsoft's Azure platform. And they're available for public preview starting today. So I can't wait to see what you create with this AI-first approach to cognitive understanding. Thanks so much, guys.
So the great thing about Azure Cognitive Services is that you don't have to be an AI expert in order to take advantage of AI within your applications. But we also know that a lot of you want to be able to build your own AI models and tailor them to your precise business needs. And we provide a great way to do that on Azure. So when you typically want to build an AI model, you typically walk through a workflow where you do three things. Step one is where you prepare your data. Step two is where you build and train an AI model from it. And step three is when you deploy the model and start using it within an application. Let's walk through how we're trying to streamline all of these things using Azure. I'm going to start with sort of a simple example to illustrate these three steps. And that is trying to build an AI model that can help answer the question of how much a particular car is worth. So step one of this process, again, is to prepare my data. Now, data scientists building AI algorithms spend on average about 80% of their time doing data preparation steps, working from multiple data sources and merging the data together, finding and fixing anomalies and outliers, and standardizing on formats. It's a really arduous task, and a lot of people often refer to it as data wrangling. Our Azure Databricks service is an Apache Spark-based analytics service that's optimized for Azure. It enables you to quickly launch and scale up Spark clusters on demand. It includes a rich interactive workspace that makes it easy to build Spark-based data workflows, and it also includes built-in data adapters that allow you to work with all the different data that you store within Azure. And it makes it really easy to prepare data for AI-based workflows, whether you're just working with a few gigabytes of data, all the way up to hundreds of petabytes of data. Now, once we've got our data assembled for our car model, the next step is to build and train an AI model using it. Now, for example, for our car scenario, we might want to create and train a model that predicts the value of the car using a data set of historical car prices. And this process of building, training, and testing the model is going to be iterative as I evaluate various different attributes and hyperparameters to more accurately fit the model as part of my solution. And our Azure Machine Learning Service helps dramatically with this process. It enables you to train and evaluate models on any number of servers within Azure. You can literally scale up from using just one server to build and train your model to literally running across hundreds of thousands of servers with just a single parameter change in your application. Azure Machine Learning enables you to use every popular data science and AI framework out there, including TensorFlow, Caffe2, CNDK, Keras, PyTorch, and more. In addition to every popular AI framework, we've also included pre-built AI models with Azure, specifically designed for computer vision, text, and forecasting scenarios. These can dramatically improve both the performance of your AI models as well as the speed with which you can go ahead and build solutions with them. And once you have built an AI model with our Azure Machine Learning, you can then package it up into a Docker container and deploy it to run anywhere. With our Azure Machine Learning service, you can build and deploy AI models that literally run anywhere. This includes our new Azure Kubernetes service that you saw Scott Hanselman demo earlier, which is great for hosting an AI model that you use for online API scenarios, or our Azure Batch service if you want to iteratively batch-based process lots of data. Or you can deploy it, as you saw Jeff show, on IoT Edge for edge-based computing scenarios. And because these models are container-based, you can also run them anywhere else as well, including on-premises environments. This gives you maximum flexibility to use AI literally everywhere. And the great thing is you can take these sort of three-step flows and use it with any data stored inside Azure and make any application you work on much more intelligent. And what I'd like to do is invite Starbucks, who is another great customer of Azure, on stage to talk about how they're leveraging both our Azure data services and AI services to transform their customer experiences. So please join me in welcoming Jeff Wiley on stage here to talk about Starbucks and the great work they're doing. Here's Jeff.
Good morning. Can I borrow that?
Sure.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here. Hope you're having a great morning so far. This is great. And it is my pleasure to have the opportunity to spend a little bit of time sharing about how an iconic brand like Starbucks is being transformed by many of the same technologies that we've heard about this morning. Many of you know us, but let me share just a little bit more about what Starbucks looks like today. We have 28,000 stores around the globe, over 300,000 partners who proudly wear the green apron in 77 countries around the globe. All of this equates to over 100 million occasions each week where our customers visit a Starbucks store. And that equates to about $22.5 billion of revenue last year. We like to say at Starbucks that we earn that $22 billion $5 at a time. So how does all that happen? Well, our company has been built over the last 40 years on three really important pillars. Number one, hire great partners who care passionately about the craft of coffee and who care about the customers that walk into our stores. Number two, build innovative and exciting handcrafted beverages and unique food offerings, such as our brand new Nitro Cold Brew. If you haven't experienced it yet, it's life-changing. I promise you will love it. And finally, stores that are welcoming and a great place to refresh and relax, which many of you have come to call the third place. But we've added a fourth pillar recently, and that is technology, because we believe that technology is the enabler at Starbucks to spread that experience everywhere. Let's take a little bit of a closer look on what that technology is doing to transform our systems. We're looking to use technologies like blockchain to track our coffee around the world from bean to cup. We're using data and modeling to share best practices with our coffee farmers around the world. We're developing systems to optimize inventory so we are delivering the right products to every store at the right time, while at the same time delivering or reducing waste. And finally, we're creating new capabilities that optimize scheduling for partners, those 300,000 partners in the stores, to make sure that they're there when they're needed. And let's not forget our industry-leading mobile application, where we're leveraging scalable infrastructure that adjusts automatically as demand changes throughout the day. But probably the biggest transformation for Starbucks as a whole is in our partners, who have been able to innovate faster and build solutions more quickly for our business than ever before. So what do all these have in common? Well, every one of these projects leverages cloud platforms like Microsoft Azure, which enables us to move faster and build better solutions. We're also partnering closely with great companies like Microsoft, who not only help us along this journey, but are teaching us as they go. Finally, another benefit we see from the cloud is our ability to deploy these solutions globally. We can build it once and leverage it anywhere around the world that Azure may be. It really is helping transform our business. So let me give you a specific example that we're super excited about. Over here you can see a typical store, and we have orders coming into that store, maybe a mobile order, maybe a drive-through, or maybe someone walking up to our register. Today our partners do an amazing job to fulfill and craft those orders, but we do it in the order that or the sequence that the order came into the store. Things get made, things get picked up, and you can see we do our very best to satisfy our customers. But what if we could use big data and machine learning and AI on something as simple as creating coffee in our stores? And we could use those algorithms to help us optimize how we produce those orders. We still have the same number of orders coming in, but maybe that drive-through order is just a cup of coffee, so we're going to fulfill that first, instead of first in, first out like it is today. And once that's complete, we've now handcrafted that large order for our mobile customer, and it's there, ready, right when they need it. We're super excited about this capability because it enables our partners in the stores to focus on our customers and not spend time trying to figure out how to manage that queue. And we're leveraging things like Azure Cloud and the capabilities like Service Fabric, IoT Hub for our connected devices in the stores, and back-end data stores like Cosmos DB to enable all of this and make it happen. Who knew there was so much technology behind a simple cup of coffee? Our mission at Starbucks is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. And together with partners like Microsoft and technologies like Azure Cloud, we strive every day to fulfill that mission. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks, Jeff. So you heard about how Jeff is, and Starbucks is using Azure to better improve their customer experience. Let's now walk through an example of the steps involved to build an AI model for a scenario like this. And to do that, I'd like to invite Paige back on stage to show us how. Here's Paige.
Hi again. Awesome. So if you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know it's an art and a science to prepare a complex order at precisely the right moment for a customer to arrive. And what we have here is a restaurant owner's dream. Orders come in on the right, I click on them to confirm them, and they're automatically placed in the correct order on our order queue. So I'll complete Harvey's order, then Francis's, then Barbara's, and I am sure that all of them will be ready at precisely the right time as my customer arrives. So how would we go about creating this solution backed by a deep neural network? Let's dive into Azure and see. So here I am in my Azure portal using something called a Databricks notebook. And this is an interactive, collaborative programming space for data scientists and software engineers to work together. Using Databricks, you can pull in data from a variety of sources. So here we're grabbing stuff from SQL Data Warehouse, Cosmos DB, and also some static CSV files that we have hosted on Blob Storage. Once our data's been pulled in, we can prepare it, remove outliers, remove null values, get it into a nice rectangular data format, and then use that to build and train our model using any framework, as Scott mentioned. So if you like TensorFlow, use TensorFlow. If you like MXNet or Cognitive Toolkit, you can use those too. And then once your model's been trained, and once our hyperparameters have been tuned, you can package it up into a container and then deploy it anywhere you choose. So locally on an IoT edge device, or even at scale on a Spark cluster in the cloud. And any developer in your organization can then call that model just as easily as they would a cognitive service. So let's take a look at what that would entail. So first, we bring in our data. And if I click Shift-Enter, automatically we're sending a request to the Spark cluster to pull in data from our SQL data warehouse. I even have data streaming in live from Cosmos DB. So let's take a look at that here. Awesome. I can also pull in orders just from blob storage. So here we're grabbing a CSV file. Now that all the data's been ingested, it's time to prepare it. So we probably don't want to keep these outliers. That would probably skew the model that we're building. So if I want to remove them, I would do orders.total order amount less than, say, 200. That seems reasonable. I click Shift-Enter again, and automatically my graph changes. So that looks like a much more representative sample. Now that we've got our data in a great state, it's time to join it and prepare our model. Here we have a neural network with 2 hidden layers, and we have 200 nodes per layer. As I mentioned before, this is backed with TensorFlow, and we're using Keras as the developer-facing front end. So what we can do with Azure Machine Learning is we can train and then change minutely some of our hyperparameters, make small modifications to our model to see how that impacts our performance over time. We're aiming for high accuracy and to reduce loss as much as possible. So here you see a whole bunch of runs of our model with those minute hyperparameter changes. And lower is better. I know that's kind of counterintuitive for a performance graph, but you want to minimize your loss over time. So here it looks like that orange model is the best performing one. So that's the one that we'll package up in a Docker container and then deploy to use as the backend for our application. So we'll create a schema.json file to define inputs and outputs. We'll create a Python script to initialize and run the model, and then we'll deploy it using Azure Kubernetes Service. So now that it's been created and deployed, I click Shift-Enter with some prospective restaurant orders, and we get back an output with score categories and confidence levels. So any developer in my organization can call this REST service exactly as they would a cognitive service. As you can see, on Azure, you're capable of using any machine learning framework you choose. You can pull in data from a variety of sources, and you can use Databricks notebooks as a first-party solution. And we're the only cloud service provider that offers that functionality. I can't wait to see what you build with AI on Azure. Thanks so much.
So we've covered a lot of new services and capabilities that we're releasing with Azure today, and walked through some of the amazing opportunities that are out there for all of us to build great new applications with it for this intelligent cloud and intelligent edge world. I hope you enjoy the rest of Build. We're really looking forward to getting your feedback, and I can't wait to see the great applications that you build with Azure and across the Microsoft stack. Thanks so much, and have a great rest of the conference.